Yes, people, we are back. Race for Europe show is back. It's Monday night. We are all here. We got a lit panel as ever. No, Errol is not skiving. Errol is busy, but he's going to be on later. Well, that's what he's told me anyway. Big up Billy, big up Dan United, big up LB. Got Lawless back in the house, Pete back in action, and Maz is here. Big up Maz for coming on, even though Brighton got battered by us, which is where we're going to start, bro. Listen, I know you haven't got long, Maz, so we're going to start Arsenal Brighton first so we can get you out of here. I know you're busy streaming all night, my bro, with D, which, to be fair, you must need a break for already. So fair play to you for coming, jumping straight on after a chat with D, because Lawless would probably need a break after that, man. Listen. I thought we played really well, man. I thought the frustrations for me was Arsenal not taking more chances. And I didn't think Brighton had a great day at the office. Lewis Dunk was getting dunked on by shots left, right and centre, saving them even with his balls. The guy was trying to do everything he could to stop the ball going in the net, but he couldn't do enough, man. I was actually quite frustrated by Arsenal in terms of Saka and Martinelli, because as much as I think they're always a threat, their numbers are starting to worry me, particularly Martinelli, who I rate highly and has only scored 2 or 3 goals this season. And I thought he was a threat, although it wasn't there with his numbers. Martin Odegaard, likewise, I thought he was brilliant to watch. But again, just shoot, man. Jesus worked tirelessly. Shoot. Saka, pretty poor in parts again. But I keep mentioning them. I said it in my fan cam. We got 3 monsters, Maz, in Saliba, Gabriel and Rice. And I thought that shone through yesterday. I thought they were absolutely immense. And Declan Rice is just... I mean, wow, just what a player. I mean, look, I mentioned the name and Lawless Camera is doing all sorts of madness just because I've mentioned Declan Rice. It is honestly an unbelievable footballer, man. But Maz, what did you make of it, bro? Brighton, was you disappointed? And how impressed were you with Arsenal is my question to you, bro.
Yeah, funny you should mention that, actually, because I went on AFTV earlier in the week and I actually said that I wasn't all that impressed by Arsenal leading it up to the game. So that didn't age well at all. I got absolutely cooked by a lot of us. I actually had like 10 DMs going, hold that. Yeah, how do you feel now? And all that kind of stuff. So I was like, look, you beat ninth place Brighton, lads. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, we do have a fan base like that, mate. They won't let you forget anything you say. Trust me.
Yeah. I've got the full brunt of that, so that was fun. But no, I still stuck. I still stick by it. I think up until yesterday, I thought you guys hadn't hit 5th gear. You hadn't hit your best, the best abilities that you can play. But yeah, you absolutely played us with the park. I can't say anything else. You were by far the better team. You lot dominated us from start to finish pretty much. And yeah, it was just poor from us. It was really, really poor performance. Like you mentioned, Declan Rice, Saliba and Gabriel were just, huge for you boys. And you just done really well. We won at the races. And look, let's be real. When you're playing a 38-year-old James Milner, who is primarily a midfielder at left back against Bukayo Saka, what do you expect to happen? Do you know what I mean?
To be fair though, bro, Saka was not our best player, I didn't think.
No, I know. But it just in terms of the quality we had on the pitch, Veltman got injured, and then we had to bring Hinshelwood on, and we have been unlucky with injury, and I know on the panel we've had a lot of the teams have had some injuries as well. I'm not just putting it down purely to that. You even look at Pete and Dan; they've struggled with injuries this season, but it's no excuse, is it, Dan? It's no excuse to get results.
I was just about to say I can relate, mate. We had Sir Jonathan Evans of Northern Ireland keeping a clean sheet at Anfield yesterday, so I can relate, mate, with rolling out the old boys. Don't worry.
Exactly. And then talking Lewis Dunk.
Who are you missing? I know Estupinian has been massive for you out. Who else was it? Because I'm looking at it and this ain't me digging. Maybe it's just my memory. I was like, who have Brighton got out? Where are all these players that are missing? I didn't really see your team and go, God, they've got kids out here. Like I recognised all of them. So who are you missing, bro?
It's not necessarily like the thing of kids, but like, for example, Igor, who's been really, really good for us. He was on the bench. I think he's been struggling with a few injuries. You look at Julio Enciso, who's unbelievable for us last season. He's been out for majority of the season. I think he's actually going to be out for the rest of the season now. You look at who else we're missing? Estepinian, like you mentioned, huge at left back for us. And then just the midfield's just not been good. Obviously, we've lost McAllister and Caicedo from last season. I think that's the kind of thing people don't realise as well. It's not just players that are missing this season. It's players that we've lost from last season as well. So, yeah, like it's just a completely different team to that side that our best ever finished last season. And, also European football this season as well has been killing us. So it has been a tough old season, but we're still doing all right. We're still 9th. We came top of our Europa League group. So it's not all bad. It's not all bad times to be a Brighton fan. And yeah, we lost to the better team. what more can I say? Arsenal were the better team. I still don't think you'll win the league. I'm going to put it out there. I still think LB's team's going to go out and do the job. But
so is that, Maz? Let me ask you on that, because this I actually agree with you. I don't think Arsenal win the league, and I've said that. But why is that? Do you think it's because City are too good, or it's because Arsenal are just not good enough?
No. Look, I know my comments got a bit blunt. I sort of take it back a little bit. I think you are a very decent side, and I think you're gonna get better as the season progresses. However, I just still think that Man City, they've proven it years and past 5 years. They've won the league 3 seasons on the bounce now, and they have got Kevin De Bruyne has come back. I hate mentioning that, but he's an unbelievable player. He's a quality player, arguably the best in the league. So to bring him back for the back end of the season, and we know how good Man City are in that run, sort of going into the end of the season, how good they can be and how good they are. So I think it's purely just Man City being better. It's not. I wouldn't say it's Arsenal being worse or not good enough. I just think that Man City probably will just come back and be the better team and end up winning the league, just because they've been there, done that. They've got the mentality for it. And I question leaders as well. I don't know what the panel thinks, and I'd actually be interested to know, because I've got a bit blasted. I said that Arsenal don't have enough leaders to win the league, but that's just my opinion. Now watching the game, Saliba's looking like he's a bit more of a leader now, maybe, but he's still quite young, isn't he? He's what, 22? 22. So yeah, I question the leadership, and is Mikel Arteta that guy to win the league? Tactically, I think he definitely up there. He outplayed us, and he made De Zerbi look like an amateur. So yeah, I just still a few question marks for me, but I like to see what everyone else thinks.
Yeah, man. Well, let's hand it to the panel. Before I do, big up Nobby Clark with a super chat. Says that James Milner scored his first Premier League goal 5 years before Newcastle's Lewis Miley was born. What a professional, man. 2002, he made his debut for Leeds. I remember he's 16. And, mate, what an unbelievable professional. Saka, but fair play to him. Saka didn't really roast him, to be fair. So, what a professional. Lawless, let's come to you. You said Arsenal will finish 4th this season behind Spurs. They're not in a title race. Do you stand by that?
Look, injuries haven't been kind to old Spurs, have they, to be honest? But it's going to be interesting. January is going to be key for everyone. I'm going to reevaluate my predictions once that window shuts. I'm not changing a single damn prediction until that window shuts, and I'll reevaluate. Right? You love it. Look, you love it.
Villa are still in 9th, Arsenal are in 4th. This is brilliant.
It burned you. It burned you that I said that I had Spurs above Arsenal. That
trolling. Had to be trolling. You had to be trolling.
No, listen, I'm just saying, like, we still got to get into the nitty-gritty deeper this league. Like, everyone thinks of what's happening now and how teams are now, or how they're going to be for the rest of the season. Again, people keep ready to dance on Man City's grave because of now. You're not forward thinking, you're not looking forward. Same with Arsenal. You know what I mean? Once you get into the nitty-gritty like we saw last season, and you start to fall off. Short memories. Very short memories. Okay, so we'll see. Listen, Spurs, hopefully they don't get Europe again and they bottle it, right? I hope they do. But Arsenal, don't just relax. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. And as if this result sort of makes Maz's comments not valid, that you haven't been impressive because you beat Brighton, which, let's be real, Potts, I'm going to say something else to you that you got to hold your hands up for, because West Ham sit above the team you said we couldn't finish above. So you want to come at me for my Spurs comments, right? Let's come at you for your Brighton comments. West Ham, they can't finish above Brighton. Brighton, you think you can finish?
Hold on. There's still a long way to go, Lawless. Let's not. You're talking about not getting cocky. You're saying this to Dan. You need to relax a bit. You need to chill a bit.
Listen, I'm not sitting here saying, yeah, look, we're going to finish above. But what I'm saying is, right now, we're the better form team. And yeah, Brighton could still finish above us, but it's the way that Potts acted. Like, it was crazy for me to think that we could finish above Brighton. Like, the fact that I said, yeah, well, you're not finishing above Newcastle, you're not finishing above Brighton, you're not finishing above Villa, you're not finishing above Chelsea. He said we're not finishing above.
Please make sure you do. That's all I'll say. Please.
Yeah.
For your sake-
And make sure you
No.
do.
For your sake, please do not finish below Brighton or Villa or Newcastle, any of those teams. Please don't come
Let's
lower
go.
than 7th. Please do not come
Lawless.
8th, 9th, or
Pots,
10th.
do you think
Please
he'll
don't.
care? Do you think he'll care though?
Of course
Seriously,
he won't. Of course he
You
won't.
won't.
Please do not
He
finish
still
below
probably
7th.
thinks they're going to win the Europa League, West Ham. He probably thinks they're going
Lawless,
to
we
win
do-
that.
Lawless,
If
Lawless,
we do-
with your chest, are you finishing above Newcastle?
what's that
Why are you
again?
thinking about that?
January.
Why are you
No,
thinking
you-
about that?
Yeah, why are you thinking about that? Newcastle, you're going to finish above Newcastle.
I can't remember
No,
what was my
sure.
prediction. Did I have you above us? I can't remember.
Oh,
like,
no,
'cause
no.
I'm not
Don't
changing
worry about
Your
the prediction.
prediction
What about
was
now?
crazy.
Right now. Are you finishing above Newcastle?
Do you know what?
Oh, bro,
Pete-
you're
Pete-
so
I'm
Pete-
trying to
famous,
think
man.
reasons. I'm feeling
Pete's
it. I'm
keeping a
trying
straight
not to
face, but
say
you know
it. I'm
deep
trying to
inside,
do
Pete is
things.
burning to say something. You are
Yeah.
absolutely crazy if you think this.
No,
bro.
right? No, whoa. I'm just listen. Billy never gets away, but Billy never says anything with his chest. His chest.
Look,
Lawless,
Hey,
Lawless,
I have to say everything with
you
chest.
have a knock at me for not getting my chest out and whatnot. And the reason I'm not is because there's still a lot of football to be played. And you've literally just said, well,
So why am I being put on the spot?
I will reassess. There's still a lot of football to be played. Yeah, I'll reassess after January. Injuries, whatnot. What are you having a look at me for?
So why am I being put on the
Literally,
spot?
you
Why have
literally-
I got to
because
put my
you-
chest out?
Still
Because
waiting
you're the one-
for your 10-week bloody review, mate, and we as well.
I did it.
Basically, Lawless, the point I'm trying to make is I don't think you finish above Aston Villa and Newcastle. You might finish above
Oh,
us.
yeah.
I don't think you
Interesting.
finish-
Where's your chest, Maz? Because there's a team
Yeah,
you missed
I'll-
out in that.
What, Man United?
Well,
No, Man United.
where's your
they're
chest?
They're not good enough to be in that conversation anymore.
I'm talking about your team. Your team.
Yeah, no,
interesting, was not in that.
I said you might finish above us, but I don't think you'll finish above Newcastle and Aston Villa. That's my chest.
Or Spurs, apparently, because they're coming
You got
first.
chest for other teams. I know you are. That sounds
You
like
gotta
Potts.
think
That
smart.
sounds
You
like
gotta think
Potts, to be
smart.
fair.
You gotta
Potts
think
has chest
smart.
for everyone else's team except his own one, funny enough. You're
I don't have
taking
chest
from
for
the
West
Potts
Ham,
playbook,
brother.
guys.
I don't have chest to West Ham. I hope they get relegated. They're a disgrace. I'm joking.
Yeah, we know you don't have chest for us. You know what I mean? You didn't even have us top 10. You know what
You're
I mean?
gonna answer the
I
question.
did 10th, bro. I put you 10th. How many times? I put
That's
you 10th.
bottom 10, isn't it? That's technically
Lawless
that's
is
bottom
stuck in
10.
a question,
depending on which way you look at it.
You're ducking the
So
question,
far.
Lawless.
Just
What
make
was the
sure
question?
you
Put me on
do
the
not.
spot. What is it? I'll answer it.
Are you finishing above Aston Villa and Newcastle? Yes or no?
Aston Villa have got a bit of a head start. I won't lie.
Bit.
But
11
we got
points.
bigger fish to fry. We're in a bigger European competition. Bigger fish. Our fish is bigger than their fish. You know what I mean? So we've got that.
Same fish you
Newcastle's
were talking
doable.
on about all last season, yeah? That now is just nothing.
What?
Last season, that fish was the biggest fish in the pond, according to you. Now, all of a
I
sudden,
never said
Swansea
it was
is
bigger
a
than Europa
goldfish.
League. Find a clip of me saying the Europa Conference League is bigger than the Europa League. Find me that clip because I never said that.
Not saying
Are
that
you
you're
gonna
just
win?
disregarding it all of a sudden, but last season
I'm not
it was
disregarding
every
it. I'm
week.
just saying we've got bigger fish to fry than them because our fish is bigger. We're in the Europa League. We're in the next tier up. So,
Villa got more chance of winning a European trophy than West Ham.
well, they've got more of a chance because of the, they're in a slightly easier
We've
competition.
got more chance of winning the title than West Ham winning the Europa League.
See, Lawless can't dig out that Conference League because he won it last year, so he can't call
Exactly.
it crap. So he's trying to word
listen.
it very, very politically.
But they got to win it. They must win it, right?
Yeah, to
So-
be fair, Billy, if you don't win it, Lawless is coming for you big.
Well, we
I
might
don't
win the league.
care. If you win the league, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if you win the league. If you do not win that Conference League, I'm still coming for you.
Hang on. What if we win the FA Cup? What if we win the league or the FA Cup, but not the Conference League?
No, I'm still coming for you because you've lost that league. The league that you was guaranteed to win, the trophy was guaranteed to win. So you're still getting it. I don't care. You could go and win.
To win it.
You could do the double, mate. You could do the double this season. I'm still cooking you if you don't win.
I
that
love
Conference
this.
League.
So we're sat here end of season. Billy's like, I can't believe we've just won the Premier League. Everyone's going, well done, Billy. Lawless is like, you're shit. You're shit.
Yeah.
You're a disgrace.
yeah, damn right. Because we did it. Champions of
Man.
Europe. We know what we are, mate. But
Honestly, man.
Arsenal are not going
When
to be
you've got a
champions.
star
of England.
for the Champions League or the European Cup, then we'll start talking.
What did I tell you last week? This is not primary school, mate. We don't hand out little stars and go, oh, put my star off being a good boy this week. Oh, I was a good
Don't
boy
just
in
say,
Europe.
all right,
Have
when
your
you're in the
little
Champions League, then we can talk.
Listen, when are you winning the Champions League, right? You
We've
won
done
the
it.
European Cup. You didn't win the Champions League, yeah?
That's right. To be fair, we won it when you had to win the league the year before to win it. Fair enough.
Oh,
Yeah. But yeah, so there was less competition. There was less games. It's harder to win it now. Is it
I
harder
love
to
how
win
you're
Champions
still
League?
trying to fight your
Oh.
corner. You're being destroyed and you're still fighting.
All right,
This is brilliant.
parts, everyone, right? Is it harder to win the European Cup, Champions League? Is it harder to win the Champions League or the European Cup from the back in the day? Which one's harder to win?
Well, you had to win the league in the first place.
No, but I'm talking about once you're in it. I'm not talking about qualifying for it. It's easier
Probably
to qualify
both
for
similar,
this
man.
competition.
Probably
Yes,
both
but what's
similar,
harder to win?
Lawless.
What?
What was football crap back then? What are you saying?
What I'm saying is, well, there's more games now for a start. There's that.
There were worse pitches.
More teams. Yeah, but those players were made for those pitches.
Yeah, but a lot
Plus-
of the more, yeah, but the difference is, Lawless, a lot of the more
Pitches.
games now are all dead games anyway. You know what I mean? For a decent team, the majority of the games in the Champions League now are like fluff games. So it don't really matter.
Tell that to Pete, who's sitting there after finishing
Yeah,
bottom
but
of
no,
his
but
group.
Pete,
Tell
no,
that to
but that-
Dan
no,
United,
no.
who's sitting
No,
there
but
after
that's the
finishing bottom of
difference.
his group.
No, but that's the difference. That's because they didn't get top seed. You know what I mean? If you win your league like we did, you get top seed. That's what Billy's saying. You got to win the league. You can't just ignore qualification for the tournament and just be like, that doesn't count, because it does. That's why Pete got stuffed with the group of death. If Newcastle would have won the league last year, they wouldn't have got the group of death, and they'd probably
And
be
we
in the
did.
Champions League draw.
We had group of death as well, so just
Yeah. What about their group? Their group of life.
Well, that's
Group
a
of
shame.
life, and they still didn't
Listen,
get life.
we've shat on United enough. They don't deserve it just for tonight because they did it.
But Arsenal ain't winning no league. That's what I'm gonna say. People are starting to. They're doing this. I've noticed this. I'm starting to talk to people, and their knees are starting to go. You know what I mean? Their legs are shaking, and they're going, "Oh, I think Arsenal are gonna do it." And it's just deja vu.
Lawless, do you not
all
think it's a
over again.
closer league though this season? Do you not think that it's a closer competition?
Yeah. I think it was close. Yeah, I do think it's closer. But again, remember last season, Arsenal got a pretty good margin on Man City. They got a pretty big lead, and Man City ate that lead up and came back and won the league. How many points was at the height? How many points were you on them? 9, 11 or so? What's that? 8?
I think wasn't it 8 pots you were ahead?
What was it? What was the most
We
points?
were 8 points that the game in hands. It's 5 really, unless Man City were going to shit house that game and not. But yeah, 8 points was on the board. Yeah. But yeah, we threw it away and everyone knows we did. But when you look at it, the reason why there's more of a uproar when Arsenal do it is because people know Arsenal bottle it. So Liverpool just drew to Man United. If that was Arsenal, it would be a disgrace, be laughed at like, oh my God, Arsenal bottling it again. With Liverpool, they can still win the league. Man City, they've just drew and threw away. 1 in 6 now they've won. Drew to Palace. Yeah, they can still win the league. If that was Arsenal drawing to Palace, they can't do it, see? They can't do it. So that's why there's more pressure on us, because we
Victim
have proved that we can
FC
get across the line. And we haven't done
to
it
a
yet.
T. You're victims. It's victim FC. That's
Facts.
what you are.
That's just
Oh,
facts.
if it was Arsenal, you should have a T-shirt. Arsenal, all that merch you bring out, you need a merch that's T-shirt that says if it was Arsenal, right? Sell that in the club shop. I want to say if it was Arsenal, if it was the Arsenal, if it was the
It's
Arsenal,
true though.
right?
Because did you listen to what I said though? This is true. Because we haven't done it yet.
Because
No, it's
Liverpool,
true. Because it's
not
actually
cooking
true.
Liverpool?
Because we haven't got across the line, because Liverpool have, and because City have, whenever we do what Liverpool and City have just done, there'll be question marks. Because it's Man City and Liverpool that have already drew and already lost games, and they know they can get across the line. That's why whenever it happens to us, like it did when we drew to Fulham, like it did when we lost to Villa, like it did when they're throwing it away again. Arsenal went ready, because they haven't got across the line. So until we do get across the line, which hopefully will be this year, then we have to hold that. And Liverpool was a disgrace yesterday. Man City at home to Palace. If that was Arsenal, my God, would it be absolutely? I'll be holding L's all around the whole panel But because it's Man
Did
City,
we not cook Errol in the group chat though yesterday? Come on.
yeah,
Who
no,
was
and
cooking
both of them deserve to be cooked, City and Liverpool, of course, because they've had shocking results. Can't say that's all right. Don't mind that. You know, LB, by the way, is worried. I know for a fact LB's worried. I can see it in his face. I see it in his watch-alongs. I watch all of his content. I'm not worried. Wait till KDB comes back. I know this is a man who's starting to get a bit worried.
Today. He's back today, Dan. So you best be scared, man. You best be scared.
Listen, I'm always scared of KDB, but can you sit here on this panel, admit to everybody that you're a little bit worried and it's not going to plan? Man City, you wanted to be flying
It's
ahead.
going to plan. I said from day one, his plan is being achieved. I said from day one, don't be more than 6 to 7 points behind the leaders by the time Kevin De Bruyne comes back. Kevin De Bruyne is back with 5 points behind the top of the table. I'd say this year, if I'm you guys, I'd be wondering how Man City have had no Kevin De Bruyne, our best player, all season. We've won 1 game in 6, and you're only 5 points ahead of us.
So did you honestly, all right, so answer me this. Did you honestly think then 1 in 6 wins that Arsenal Liverpool be flying 9-10 points ahead then?
Yeah. We won 1 game in 6.
Come on, bro. Come on. No, you never did that.
We won
no
one
way.
game in 6. If you would have said to me at the start of this 6th period, you're going to win 1 game in 6 football matches, but you're only going to be 5 points off at the top, I'm shaking your hand 100%. You're telling me I'm not going to shake that hand? Of course I'm shaking that hand.
No, man. I tell you what, you'll make out this thing. You make out this Premier League is easy to win, man. You're making out like
it's easy.
Well,
to
they've done
win.
it enough, haven't they?
Yeah, it is for them. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is for them. But you're making out at Arsenal and Liverpool and Man City level like we're flying ahead. I still think City are too good, man. And I think it's proved that.
I agree. That's the point I'm making. The point I'm making is if you would have told me before we played these 6 games that LB, you're only going to win 1 game out of 6, right? But you're only going to be 5 points behind Arsenal and Liverpool. I'm like, what? How is that mathing? How does that maths work? You know, if we only win 1 game out of 6 and you're only 5 points clear, and now Kevin De Bruyne's coming back, I think you're done. But I think you boys are. I think you messed up.
All right. So how about then? Right? How about this? How about the 1 in 6 continues? And KDB
well, that's
comes
obvious.
back and
If that happens, then
are you worried though? That's what I'm saying. Are you worried that this 1 in 6 is that 1 in 6 might continue? It might not be now another win.
LB, when's he start playing again? Because he's obviously not going to come straight back in and start playing, is he? Like, when roughly
next 2 games he'll be. Next couple of games.
I mean,
when's that? Like, what date is that roughly? Because obviously you've got the World Cup, haven't you?
It's just We got the Club World Cup. I mean, for me, it's not ideal, but we go to Everton next 27th of December, so 9 days. That's a tough place to go. I mean, you don't really want to throw him in there because it's not like it's probably a little bit soon, but they're the informed team right now. So Wednesday night football, 8:15 kickoff. I mean, it stinks of a loss. To be honest with you. So
traveling doesn't help.
That sounds like a worried City fan to me. That don't sound like a confident one.
No. So here's the thing.
Kudus and Bark. This one's going to be tough. KDB might not be able to make this.
Dad, so here's the thing. If we can get past Everton and get a win there, which is easier said than done, I think then we can kick on. We've got Sheffield United after that. We've got Huddersfield in the cup, but we've got to try and get past Everton somehow, and that is a tricky game. Like I say, I'm sure with my position. I said from day one on this channel, all the streams I've done. By the time Kevin De Bruyne comes back, get me 7 points behind and no more. And we're 5 points, so we're in the.
Might be 7 points behind Villa by Christmas. If we beat Sheffield United on Friday.
What's going on? What's going on with City then? What's happened in these last 6 games? What's gone on?
We can't defend. Simple as we can't defend, which is a shame. The intensity's dropped. Kyle Walker's becoming a problem player for us, unfortunately. He just didn't sprint back. I mean, it's shocking, really. I mean, we're football fans. We can all accept mistakes by players, right? Our players make mistakes every game. Yeah, that's part of football. But basic effort. I mean, if you've not seen sure most of you probably have seen the first Palace goal. I mean, it's just so lazy from Kyle Walker. If he sprints back, I mean, Diaz has to close down the crosser. But if Walker sprints back and gets in between Diaz and Ake, that first goal doesn't happen. But he's lazy. He's just jogging back. You know what I mean? And they were level at the halfway line. So it's not like he couldn't have come back. Kyle Walker was level with Diaz and the Palace player. You're not telling me Kyle Walker's not quick enough to get back. So just really poor. I'm hoping that this Club World Cup, we can get over the line, lift that, and that can spark our sort of season. You know what I mean? Because that's what we're looking for. It was the same last year. We were going through the same thing last year. Pep Guardiola last season said you don't recognise the team, don't recognise the players. Then we got the charges. And it's like Everton, it just galvanised the whole club and went on a treble. But right now we need a spark, and I'm hoping that if we can win this Club World Cup, which we should do based off the teams that I've watched in Fluminense saying Euro Diamonds, we should win it, and hopefully that can sort of kick us on. But yeah, just a little bit disappointing, man. Defense is just not at the races, which is a shame because I thought we was going to cook. I thought the defense was going to cook.
Have you been impressed or disappointed with Gvardiol? Because I didn't expect him to come in and play left back. Was the first question, and second of all, when I haven't really seen him light up this league like expected. I thought he was phenomenal in the World Cup, and I thought it was a brilliant signing. It's a hell of a lot of money, man, and he ain't really cutting the mustard, bruv, is he?
Well, no, it depends what you mean. Because like he's playing left wing. Let's be real. If you look at his average position, he's playing left wing, so he's not going to cut the mustard as a left winger. I think he's been very, very good, man. I don't get why people are saying he's not been good. I think he's been solid. I think he's had like 1 or 2 games where he's looked a bit shaky. Other than that,
He's out of position, though, LB.
Of course, he's playing left wing, man. He's a centre half.
Why is Pep playing him there then? I don't get it.
Beats me. You know what I mean? Beats me. I'd change it. I put Ake back left back, who won us the Champions League, the Premier League, playing left back. I put Gvardiol centre half with Stones and put a Kanji right back. I completely changed the whole back forward. What's Pep doing?
Diaz would be dropped.
I dropped Diaz. I don't think he's been good recently.
Wow.
He's been poor.
I'll rate him, man, but fair enough.
No, he has, but we just keep a team. You keep players in your team just because you rate them. And
fair.
If Saliba starts dropping stinkers, you're just going to keep playing him because we all love Saliba. Well, this is what some City fans want to do. Some City fans just want to keep playing him because it's Ruben Diaz and he's mint. We all know he's mint. We all know when he's on the game, he's one of the best in the world. But at the moment, he's not playing well. That's a fact. So I drop him and put John Stones, Gvardiol centre half, Ake left back, and Akanji right back. And this is the thing. I think sometimes people get a bit scared to make brave calls like that. But I mean, what are you going to do is keep playing players because what reason? Like, if a player's not playing well at any of our football clubs, they should be dropped. It's not, you're not tearing up the contract. You're not selling them. You're just saying, you're out to I feel like this thing, I feel like back in the day, I feel like this happened all the time. I feel like players used to get dropped all the time when they were out of form. I remember Joe Hart got dropped from City when he was out of form. Couple weeks out of City, back in the team. It happened. And now it's almost as if like, should this player be dropped? And it's like a massive investigation about whether a player should be dropped. And if it is, they blow it up and it's like on the back pages, player dropped, career in jeopardy. And it's like, no, that's not it. You're just dropping the player for a couple of weeks and that's what it is. So I'm still confident we'll win the league. I just think we need to keep our key players fit. And I think we do that, we'll win the league. But yeah, we need to fix up. We need to fix up for sure.
Listen, on the panel, raise your hand if you think Man City will not win the title.
I'm going to
Come on.
I'm going half up. And the reason I'm going half up, and to be honest with you, is we're talking about KDB coming back. That's incredible. You know, Will elite player, just incredible. But the guy's had a lot of injury problems the last couple of seasons. Like, you're expecting this guy, the way you're talking, he's going to be back for the season. That's it. We're fine. The other problem you got as well is the back end of every season when you've come through and won the Premier League. Gundogan has been the forefront of that, scoring important goals. Mahrez. Player. You haven't got these two players this season. What for me? Who are the two players that are going to be the ones to step up and do what these boys did? Because even I'd seen games. I remember you against Villa. You know, last game of the season when it was you or Liverpool. I remember you being was it 2 down? And I remember thinking they're not out of this. Gundogan's going to do something. Mahrez is there. You got KDB. This isn't to try and take a bite, LB. This is an honest question. These two players, do you think the longer the season goes on, missing them and not replacing them, which you've quite openly said they weren't replaced properly, will that hurt will that hurt you? And that is why, as I said to Lawless, this is a title challenge. 2 or 3 teams this season. It's not cut and dry. So do you think this will hurt you in the long run?
Well, yeah, man, you know, it is what it is. We messed up on a Gundogan. That's an L. You know, I had some City fans were celebrating the fact that we sold Mahrez for 25 million because it was the 3rd highest transfer for an over 30-year-old ever. Like, that's some sort of W. Like, what is that? You know, why are people celebrating transfer fees received? You know what I mean? What are you talking about? I thought we supported football clubs, teams that play on a pitch, not finances and transfer fees. Like, what is this? So that's an L. But other players have to step up, Dan. I mean, Grealish has got 3 goals in 3 Premier League games. He needs to step up with more goals. Foden's probably been one of our best players this season. He's stepping up. He's getting goals and assists. People always criticise him. Other clubs, fans criticise him all the time. I don't know why. You know what I mean, I watch him every week, and he's doing good. He's stepping up to the plate. We could do with Bernardo Silva chipping in with some goals. He doesn't really get the goals that everyone thinks he does. He could do with chipping in. We just need people to chip in. And on the Kevin De Bruyne point, yeah, he's right. We are putting a large, like, about a amount of hope on Kevin De Bruyne. But you are right. His injury concern is right. What we have to do, Dan, is simple. In games where we go 3-0 up or whatever, take him off. Yeah, I'm looking at last season. 4-1 up against Southampton. He played 90 minutes. Yeah. Any game basically where we get 2 or 3 goals up, take him off. You gotta protect him, because you are right. If he gets injured, then it gets interesting. But I still have to be confident in my team, man. I've still got to be confident in this team, 100%.
Yeah, listen, I understand why you're confident in the team, because you've given no evidence to anybody on the panel as to you're not going to win the league still. I still think you will. But I do think it'll be close, and I think it will get to April, and I think all 3 teams are able to win the league. I really believe that. I don't think every of those 3 teams will drop off. I think Arsenal, Liverpool, and City will all be able to still win the league in April. So I think it's going to be a good season for that, for sure. Listen, I've got to bring it quickly to Billy, because Villa are another team that are in the title race right now, man. And, Lawless has been giving you a bit of stick, brother. I can't lie. He's getting very, very, Billy's big bollocks, Billy, big bollocks, this. I'm going to let him come in and then have his say on it. But Villa, like, hats off, man.
Wait, can I just say on you, because you've just disrespected it. You've just said all of that. But what did you say before that? I think, come April, it'll be 3 teams. Yeah, Man City, Liverpool.
No,
Arsenal.
I don't think Villa will be in a title race. No, I don't think they will. No.
I don't think we're going to be in a title race.
Your manager does.
Billy.
Your manager does.
I don't think we will.
This
If Emery and Martinez and Douglas Luiz and whoever think that we're in a title race, fantastic, brilliant mentality. Let's go for it. I think there's eventually going to be some sort of a drop off. I don't think we're going to go on and win every home game for the season. I don't think we're going to win every away game for the rest of the season. We're going to eventually drop off at some point, I would expect. Don't get me wrong. I would love it if we were to sit there in April and still be in and around there. Absolutely. Of course I would. I'd snap my hand off for it. But to be contenders for top 4 is more than I'd be over the moon with that. I'd be absolutely over the moon with it. And like I say, yeah, if Emery and that want to say that we're in a title race, then absolutely go for it. Show us that we are in one.
I think you're in one.
Week in at the moment, they are.
Yeah, I think you're in one, bro. I look at your fixtures as well, yeah, and you guys should be in a good position. You got Sheffield United, Man United, Burnley, Everton, Newcastle, Sheffield United, Man United again, Fulham. So your next 7 games, you should be beating Man United home and away. Obviously, Newcastle's a tricky one, and maybe Everton at Goodison Park could be tricky. You should be doing very well out of this. That, by the way, that takes you to mid-February.
Yeah,
I think you are in a title race.
Hopefully, some big additions as well in January. I've not really heard any rumours.
You've got a good squad, Billy. You got a good manager. Yeah, and you got winners in that team. You got a World Cup winner at the back there. You got World Cup winner. You got some solid experience.
World Cup winner who's just got someone sent off for his silly antics.
He is absolutely mental, mate.
I think you're in it. I think you're title race, bro.
I mean, look, in my opinion, I don't think that come April, May, we will be in one. That's just what I think. If you want to think that we will, then happy days. I'm more than happy to hear positive.
Billy, if we get to April and you're in it and you go, I always knew we'd be here. I always
no.
You
will. My name's like Dan Lawless. I won't be doing that. I'll be.
You better be fucking humble and keep your voice. Look at us.
My feet will be firmly on the ground.
We'll see, innit? We'll see.
We'll see.
Because you've already been given it.
I am in the situation.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying, you've been given it already, talking about, well, we're top 4, we're in the top 4, we're in the top 4.
Yeah, we should be top 4 contenders.
Your feet's on the ground. What?
From where we are at the minute, we should be finishing around top 4. Should we not?
Right, but don't lord it then. Don't lord it over everyone, because you're supposed to be keeping your feet on the ground. Don't play Mr. Humble, and then when it comes, being like, yeah, look at us, look at Villa, we're the mighty Villa.
Like he was against Hibs.
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
We'll see what happens. Look, you don't have to worry about Champions League or anything like that, Lawless, because it doesn't matter. You're not going to get top 5, top 4. So you focus. You focus on the Europa
Billy
League.
chose violence.
Listen,
Oh,
but
no.
you better get it then. You better get it. Billy Bunny Ball.
Well, let's hope that we do. Let's hope that we do. What I'm saying is, I don't think we're going to be in the title race.
Nobby wants £2 for you to do a Brummie accent to Billy.
Oh God!
Is this fucking cameo?
All right, I'll do Billy. You're right. You know, I don't believe we're gonna get the top 4, but if we get it, you know, we'll be very happy with that.
I think we can get. I think we can get top 4. I'm saying I don't think we're going to be in a title race.
And then he gets it. He's like, "I bloody told you! I told you we'd do it! I told you!"
No. You've got me completely wrong. You got me completely wrong. I won't be saying I told you we can do it.
We'll see.
We'll
see.
Can I ask a question? I want to ask a question. Can I ask a question to
People
Billy?
don't see the real you in this WhatsApp group. People don't see the real you.
Billy, let me ask you a question.
That's true.
Let me ask you a
You need
question.
to get Sam to screenshot and add these to the stream. These messages that he sends.
Nah, well, stays in the chat. Stays in the chat, man.
The other day, was it a rat or something? I was like, what?
Yeah, that's right. He was saying Paquetá's worth 150 million, but has a go at me for saying Luiz is 120.
I never said he's worth 150 million. You're misquoting
That's what you said.
No, I didn't. I said if they want him, it's 150 million. I didn't say he was worth that. I said if they want him, he's 150. That's 150 million, right. Man City.
Literally the same thing.
And LB was like 15 pints deep. Nah, actually, he was about 2 pints deep. Actually, judging from him when we went out, he's about 2 pints deep.
Anyway, LB, what was your question?
Yeah, no, what I was going to say is you said before you think you'll fall off. I want to know why. Why do you think you're going to fall off? What's going to cause you to fall off?
Because we've seen Arsenal, for example, last season, being in a title race, having to win every single week is very, very difficult. And I don't think that Villa, with the Europa, the Conference League and whatnot, I don't think we're at the level yet where we can win every single week. And that's why I think that it might not be a severe drop-off into Europa League and whatnot. I just don't think that we're going to be there for the title.
If you got injuries, Bill, would that affect you? If you got key injuries, would that affect you? Because your squad's actually better than people give it credit for. You got key players.
Yeah, our squad is very good, but if Watkins was to get injured, we've only got John Duran, very raw, young, 19-year-old. Martinez would be the biggest one, in my opinion. Our backups are, on the bench at the weekend, we had 2 youth goalkeepers. One was 16. We've also got Robin Olsen, who's calamity. He's out injured at the minute, but
imagine being 16 and having him as your role model. You got to
it's
learn.
Not bad, is it?
Oh my days!
Last night on Match of the Day, I was actually howling laughing at Mopai and Martinez. It was actually hilarious. I was like, these are 2 grown men that are like literally rolling around the floor.
Yeah,
that was and like Maz, you know Mopai.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, he's an absolute shout, Mopai. Yeah, he's an absolute shout. But yeah, that was embarrassing, mate. Honestly, Martinez and him should get a 5-match ban each. Honestly, shambles.
Well, let's not push it that far.
But yeah, Billy. Will you not get backed in the market though? Is there not money?
Absolutely.
To spend, isn't there?
Yeah, there's money to spend. We've just the V Sports Group that our owners own have just had investment from a US business worth 6.5 billion. So our total net worth now is about 20 billion or something like that, which is obscene. So yeah, we are hopefully going to make the most of it, push even further in January.
You're going to buy the league, Billy? Is that what you're telling us? You're going to buy it? You're going to buy the league?
You're making assumptions. Yeah. I'm just saying that we're going to have investment. Unai Emery's going to be backed. We're going to have investment, and hopefully we can push on to eventually win the league.
Are you going to do it the Pete model, the Newcastle model? Or are you going to go out and spend it all and buy it all? Are you going to be respectable and humble and not spend much money and do it the right way? Like
he's gone there.
Or
we'll
are
see
you
what
going to
happens.
smash it?
But hold on. You got LB here. You got Yeah, you're not going for LB, Man City, mate.
No,
Come on.
listen, LB, you know, West Ham, Chester City, you know what I mean? I can't.
Oh, that's
Fuck
just
you know.
ridiculous.
The fact you've actually said that on a stream.
Let's
as
hear you
well.
say that if they come and get
Fuck me.
Paqueta. If they come and get Paqueta, let's hear that. Let's hear that. Let's hear you
Why
say
do you think I'm wearing the maroon, man? I forever blow with bubbles.
He
Come
knows,
on.
he knows. But listen, Man United
Yeah.
have spent a shitload. Let's not sit there and act like, you know what I mean? Man United spent a shitload. I'm just saying, I want to know because he's flaunting his cash.
The threat of
He was
Newcastle
flaunting
is
the point.
crazy. though, bro.
No,
Now
I'm answering the question that was proposed to me. I think we will be active in the market. Emery's going to get backed. Yeah, that's
You will be.
Give me a
right,
number.
Really,
How much
real
you
talk,
spending?
you will be gutted, right?
I
if
don't
Villa
know, 'cause
don't get Champions League.
What's your
If
budget?
Villa don't
Of
get
course-
Champions
of
League this
course I will,
season,
Dan.
that is
from
a bad
from
season
the
now.
position that we're in. I'll be disappointed,
come
but we
sick
can
now.
also
You
go
gotta
and win a
hold it, innit?
trophy. Lawless, I can't give you a number either because I've not heard any rumours yet as players that we're linked with and stuff like that. So I can't give you a number because it'd literally be.
I say West Ham. I don't think we'll spend more than 40, maybe probably around 30. I can say that, like just from what I'm looking at, what I see. Maybe we let some go. Do you think you can spend 100 million this January?
100 million's pushing it a little bit. I think we'll probably. I don't know what we're doing because I don't know the players that we're linked with. But what I'd say is probably around 50, 60, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a little bit more. I don't know. But there's a couple of areas that we need to strengthen. Striker and right back in particular. Matty Cash, I'm at the end of my tether with him. Not good enough for where we need to go, where we need to be. He's a right back that has come from right wing, that can't cross, can't take on his man, cuts back onto his left foot as a right-footed player. Is he better than Walker? No chance.
Pete, are you worried? Like, because obviously, like, you got this big takeover, the Saudis, all this money, right? Everyone was looking at Newcastle. You got top 4 last season. Everyone's like, shit, Newcastle are the team that they're gonna upset the status quo. It's Newcastle here now. All of a sudden, you know what I mean? Obviously, you're out of Europe. You're not where you would like to be. And now Villa are coming, obviously, within a couple of points of the top of the table. Now they're telling me they got 20 million. Billy's telling me 20 billion to spend. They got the money. They got the points. They got the manager. Are you worried that, like, now you're old news and Villa's taking your spot?
No, we disrupted the top 6 because we got top 4 last season.
Yeah, but you was expected to continue that.
Where are they now?
Who was expecting us? Who was expecting us to do that? I said that we would be competitive for top 4 again this season. I still believe we will. But it was everyone else apart from Newcastle that expected us to do that. Everyone else outside of Newcastle set the standard. And look, we will be there.
Pete, come on,
There's
Pete.
no- there's
When
no
your
doubt.
fans were dressing like Saudis, they weren't expecting that.
Because I'm not telling you what you want to hear. That's the
No, but
reality.
all right, Pete,
I'm
you
telling
can
you
talk to
now
your...
that we will be competitive up there, challenging for the Champions League by the end of the season. Will we get it? I don't personally. At this moment in time, it doesn't look like it because Villa are having a great season. But it was only last season that we were having these same conversations about Newcastle United because Newcastle United were where Villa were. So there's no difference to this. As I've said to you, if we can back it up, back-to-back European seasons and build again. We've got the money, we've got the investment, we've got Adidas coming in with a £200+ million deal over 3 or 4 years. That's a massive deal. That means we can spend more. We're building. We're not just building on the pitch, we're building off the pitch, which is what a lot of the other teams outside of the top 6 aren't doing. West Ham aren't doing that. Villa aren't doing that. They're investing in terms of their ownership. Their ownership's getting bigger, but he's saying they're worth 20 billion. If you want to do that, we're worth 370+ billion. So
Billy's big bollocks just
you
drunk.
can't
Not really. I was talking
to be
about
fair, you
net
can't
worth.
compare to
And,
that.
yeah,
You can't compare to that to any of the clubs in the Premier League. The difference is that.
But have you got the manager? That's the
help
big
expand
one,
that.
Pete. Put your manager against Villa's manager. Eddie Howe versus Emery. Because that's a big factor. have you got that over Villa?
What do you mean?
The manager.
That's
they've
a silly question, Lawless, because Villa fans are going to back Emery. Newcastle fans are going to back
let's
Eddie
not
Howe.
everyone else then. Let's take you two out of the equation.
Emery, before he went to Villa, already had the stature of winning trophies and managing at the top. Eddie Howe came from nowhere. He came from literally League Two and built his. This is the highest.
That's what I'm saying. Let's take that away.
At Newcastle United. Emery's a completely different story.
Okay, but we're not talking about their. It's unfair to say Emery, who's won Europa League multiple times, but what we're talking about is in terms of let's judge them, recently, right, with their team, just what they can achieve. I'm not saying that. Oh well, Emery has had this better career, and Eddie Howe should be ashamed of his career compared to Emery. What we're talking about is, at the end of the day, if you've got flipping Eddie Howe and then Man City's got Pep, well, Man City have got a better manager, so they've got more chance of doing better apart from having the both. But who's got the better manager is a big thing.
Emery's not had to deal with what, let's be honest, he hasn't had to deal with what Howe's had to deal with this season, has he? I mean,
no, but I'm talking about in terms of as an asset, right? Not talking about in terms of who's should get more plaudits. I'm talking about
Emery's a top manager. He's a top manager. I think we could all agree on that. He is a top manager. Like in terms of his stature, he is ahead of Eddie Howe. He is. Like that's just the reality because he's proven it. Not just at Villa, but other clubs. But you're talking about Villa like they're already in the Champions League campaign this season. First, they've got to get there. Then they've got to manage that. It's okay. Villa, look, I think Billy will agree with me. It's okay with Villa marching on in the Premier League and having a great season when they can rest players and rest half their team on a Thursday because they're playing lesser quality. Eddie Howe has had to manage this team not only by getting Champions League football, but by maintaining the Premier League, and he's maintained the Carabao Cup, by the way, because we're in the quarterfinals tomorrow night. On top of that, we've had the group of death as well. On top of that, in the Carabao Cup, we've had Man City, we've had Man United. We're now going to Chelsea. If you look at all of our draws, we've had the hardest possible draws of all the top teams that you could ask for. We've not been in a privileged position of resting place. Not that I'm complaining, because we wanted to be at the top and we want to compete with the best teams. That's what Newcastle United want to do. I'm not complaining about that. But if you look at that kind of managerial situation that Eddie Howe's had to go through, you've got to put some respect on that because he's still in 6th position in the Premier League. You're saying we wouldn't be where we want to be. We're in the top 6 and we've had all of the injuries. I'm just saying that navigate himself through that Champions League where we've not had the players to select. For example, Sven Botman played 1 game. Tonali played 2. Like, they're big players for us.
Okay, but why don't we compare then your debut season last season?
He navigated himself through that. We're still 6th in the table. We're only 4 or 5 points behind. Yeah, but the problem is, Lawless, you're not even letting me talk because you're trying to interrupt what I'm trying to say. Because
this is the thing, right? Obviously, the point all your points is you're right in everything that you're saying. I can't knock you.
Argue with it then.
But this is what I'm arguing it because that's not the point I'm making, Pete.
It's Lawless. That's what he does.
No one's taking away from what you've done. No one's saying that he's a shit manager. How? No one's saying that. My point is about the emergence of this Villa that Billy, praises and all of that sort of stuff.
In that isolation, I welcome it. Because we've talked about it before. Like this top 6 needed to be dismantled. It needed to be dismantled. It's too comfortable. These teams are too comfortable with just coasting season to season and knowing that they're going to be in and around Europe in the top 6. To be fair, Lawless, respect to you because your team started it. You disrupted it by getting Europa League back-to-back seasons.
Don't give him that one, Pete.
No. Hey, come on. Look, we all shoot Lawless down, but I said it last season and I say it again. Me, Lawless, Mad now, and Billy, we know what it is to be a shit team sitting in the Championship, rubbish teams after rubbish managers year upon year, then coming to the Premier League and just fighting out relegation year upon year. It is horrible.
And LB does.
LB does as well.
LB understands that.
I don't kind of look. I look back at that and what we had to go through, and I look at the teams, all the rest of it, and I just think, nah. Like, I'm so glad I'm out of that. So I understand and we understand what it means to be down there. So the fact that they disrupted it, then we disrupted it by getting top 4. Villa doing the same, great, because it dismantles everything, and what it does, it opens it up, and everybody now has an opportunity. For the first time this season in 5 or 6 years, I actually think we've got a genuine potential of having a new Premier League champion. That's a good thing. It's a good thing because you don't want Man City having a stranglehold on everything. They've earned the right to do that because they've had a superb team. But for me, it needs a new Premier League champion to open it up, to give everyone an opportunity to think, you know what, we can do this. We can push. So I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, no, we're better than Villa. We should be.
Pete, can you come and tell this to my Sunday league team on a Sunday, mate? I need you to big one. We need you, mate.
I respect it. I know where we've all come from. And I'm like, you know what? Fair play. Fair play to Villa.
You're right. The two hands are spoiled
because we're still fighting. We ain't going anywhere. We've had a shit time of injuries. We're not doing it. We went out.
Lawless, how the hell have you gone from getting in like this to now going?
Yeah,
but we're still there.
Go on, Pete.
It's because I've been doing it. That's why.
Honestly,
one comment.
You know what it is? He's right when he says about that, and that's what I like, and that's why I can never, even though especially Billy can be quite insufferable, but he's right. It is refreshing to see you pampered, just spoiled Big Six fans. You know,
you had no clue he was going to come out with that, mate. You were just stirring. You
are unbelievable. You are absolutely unbelievable that you control someone and then become their best mate within 20 seconds of each other. Unbelievable.
Got that one compliment from Pete. He got that one compliment from Pete, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm in. I'm fully in here."
I love the disruption argument.
All of a sudden, Newcastle's his second favourite team.
Mate, all of a sudden, he's got a shirt of us at home still.
No, but the thing is, that was the one thing. I was in two minds when they got the takeover, or even 3 months. I was like, part of me didn't like it, obviously, because we were there, and now it's like, okay, they're going to use their money, they're going to overtake us. But then part of me was like, someone different, like Pete said. I like that because your teams, you know, they're full of glory hunters that people jumped on back in the late 90s, early 2000s when it was fashionable. You know, you're not getting your way. You're not getting that just, every season we're not going to get it now. And now that's why you had to create a Super League, because you were shitting yourself because how hard and the other teams were disrupting you.
Facts, man. Facts. This is all true. FFP was everything what Lawless has just said, man. And I'm a football fan for the people, and I want all clubs to experience it. So I want United gone. I want a brand new top 4.
LB knows all about the humble beginnings.
115 charges come in. Don't you worry about that.
We're innocent.
Listen, I think anyone that's celebrating, anyone that's not part of this Big Six cartel celebrating Man City getting those charges, I think you're right. I think you go against everything that the common fan stands for, because that FFP is to protect these lot. You know what I mean? Like Man United have been able to spend £1 billion and do nothing with it.
You as well, yeah?
You as well,
Yeah. Not. What do you mean these lot? You're part of that. You're part of that.
Part of this group, my friend. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? You just said these lot as if you're not part
of it. What about you?
No, I'm talking about the two Dans and Errol.
Okay.
I'm talking about the so-called, the Big Six minus Man City, because. You know, I mean, Man City got like what Newcastle got. They've been in League 2, and they was able to get there with money. But it's there to protect FFP.
You didn't go that far down, LB, did you? I thought it was only League 1, wasn't it?
League 1.
Oh, League 1. Yeah, sorry, League 1.
It was the called Division 2 back then, though, wasn't it? Yeah, it was called Division 2 back then.
Bring Dick off. Yeah, Sean Goater, get him back as well.
Sean Goater, Paul Dick off. Keep Clancy, get them all back out there.
The one thing I'll say to all this, though, sorry, Dan, the one thing I'll say to all this is, with regards to Newcastle, is that I genuinely think that what Newcastle United are doing right now It might not be because we're fighting top four that we're dropping off and having a great season. What we're building off the pitch is to ensure that we sustain on the pitch. So we are that top four, top five team every season. Yeah. And I genuinely believe that long term, we will be that team above Villa that ends up sustaining that over a period of time.
You know, I'm surprised you didn't say
it's okay having that one season. It's okay having that one season, but Newcastle United are building, and like the owners have said it, they're building a team to be consistently challenging.
Yeah, Villa could be one season wonders. I agree.
We need to be financially.
You hope.
We need to be able to financially be getting enough money in so we can spend what we already have. And once we're able to do that, and this Adidas, people are underestimating this Adidas deal. It's a massive deal that's coming in the summer, and it allows us to spend hugely. We, Newcastle fans, put it up the other day in terms of what Tottenham's earnings are, for example, alongside Newcastle's, and they've got a couple of elements that are significantly bigger than ours. But there's a lot of the lower elements that actually we match them. Once the Adidas deal comes in, and we've got a few other sponsorships that are on their way as well, we will be very, very close to Tottenham in terms of their money and what they generate, even with a lesser stadium every season. And at that point, we can then spend what they spend. And that's
Spurs and Arsenal were done out here at that point.
That bridges the gap to the top six because let's face it, the money they get every season, they can just spend more than any other team. Once we bridge that gap and we can do what they do, like we're in a position to then build onto that. And that's the smart planning that the ownerships are doing behind the scenes that lots of people don't see or talk about if you're not a Newcastle United fan.
By the way, I think Eddie Howe is a better coach than Emery, but Emery's a better manager. And
Emery's a fantastic coach.
In terms of a man, no, in terms of how he coaches and improves players, he's man to man, in terms of player management, things like that.
I would say he's a better man manager, Lawless.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He's a better man manager than Emery. Tactically coaching,
I'm fully
in terms of that thing and being the manager, yeah.
Lawless, I'm fully expecting you to turn up in a Newcastle shirt next week, mate. What's going on?
Honestly,
he's rubbing his hands, he's clapping. Honestly, shambles, mate. You're a shambles.
Oh,
he's come.
You know what?
And then he's decided to be his best mate. Next week he'll wear a Villa shirt next week and come for Billy's mate.
He's wearing his flip flops tonight.
Listen, we was further ahead than Newcastle and Villa, right? We like Pete said, we started this thing, so it's hard to take sometimes as well when teams leapfrogging. But at the end of the day, if
Nobody
it means
I'm not even going to bother with that.
If it means the Arsenal's, Man United's, Tottenham's, and Chelsea's of this world suffer, then I'm willing to watch the whole league burn. Do you know what I mean? I'm willing to see that.
So you saying you want to see Villa win the league
and Newcastle? I would rather see Villa win the league
instead of trying to dig Pete out. Why didn't you say that at the start instead of trying to dig Pete out?
Because I think it's an interesting topic that Villa, everyone did laud Newcastle and said Newcastle are going to be the next ones to win it. And now we're in this interesting thing. And now everyone's talking about Villa. And that's an interesting conversation. But yes, I would rather see Newcastle or Villa win the league than Arsenal or Spurs. Facts.
If it's not Man City, I want Arsenal to win it.
Shut up, Pete. No, you're gone. I'm done with you. No, man. That was the.
Got him.
You do that.
Got him.
Big up, Pete. Love Pete. And I got before I have myself.
About your team all week.
I don't want Liverpool winning the league. I don't want them to win the league.
But Arsenal fans have not stopped. They were celebrating when you got knocked out of the Champions League. They was loving it.
That's the deluded bunch, Pete. Don't listen to them.
What Newcastle United fans have been returning with is that I think it 45, 46 days now. We just return with the day number because that's
Lawless, you've gone from anger to love.
They're still talking about it now. So I think it's 45. Day 45. That's what we respond with.
If they win the league, they'll sit there. They're going to be lording it over you. They're going to be like, look, what did you do? Look what we won the league. You're cheating.
Not all of us will, Pete. Don't worry about it. Let this guy not worry about Spurs and
honestly, Lawless, I don't care. I really don't. If it's not Man City,
speak from the heart. Big up, Pete. I love that man.
I love Pep. Pep is an absolute genius, best manager for me that's ever been. I love him. So I can't lie when I see
Harsh on
Man City
boys,
play
mate.
at their best. They deserve to win the league. But if it's not them and it's not Newcastle, for me this season, I don't want Liverpool winning.
All right, everyone tell me,
Big
what team other than your own do you want to win the league? Obviously, that could realistically win it, right? Other than your own. Potts.
If Arsenal don't win it, I would like to see Newcastle win it.
Oh, not Villa. Oh, wow. See, Billy, see these little sly, you know what I mean? This is what he does. He acts
It ain't
friendly.
happening, but I respect that.
All right, for Newcastle. What about you, Billy?
I'd probably like to see Arsenal win it, to be honest with you.
Oh, fuck, you can fuck off as well. Forget all of this disruption.
Billy.
shit.
No, again, it's a different name.
Nah.
It's
Billy.
a different name.
It's a different. See, that's how much your team's
We
been in
can
the
do
mud.
it too. See, we can do it too. Billy, let's work out a name. Let's work out a name. Yeah,
Don't let me down, Dan.
Villa
come on.
Castle.
Villa Castle United.
It's tough for you because obviously the options, but come on, Dan.
I can't pick, mate, because I'm not picking Liverpool. I ain't picking City. Arsenal were, obviously the rivalry between that we had late noughties, early noughties.
Don't do it, Dan. Don't do it.
So you
Okay.
can't pick Villa or Newcastle. You're not going to pick either of them, even though Newcastle won't really. Yeah.
Do you know what? Actually, just because
I know we're
every
gonna do it,
week,
but
I have to take this from LB about how shit we are. I hope Arsenal absolutely spank you this season. I hope come the end of the season,
Big up,
you're
Dan.
sat there
Big up, Dan.
looking up and going,
Yeah, all right.
I remember the 18th of December when I said KDB is back. The league is ours. The Champions League is ours. The FA Cup is ours. I hope
Big up, Dan.
God that happens.
That's where you're at as a United fan, mate. I feel sorry for
Mate,
you.
Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel sorry for me. I've got loads of.
There you go.
You as well. Don't worry about me. Don't worry.
Honestly,
I don't know who you
LB,
people
what you
are
think?
anymore.
Spurs.
I
That's
can't-
what I
This
was
will
like.
be
Don't
fun.
do it.
What's
Don't do
LB
it.
saying? He's going to say Villa, isn't he?
I don't know. I'll pick West Ham now. West Ham.
How many points are we off the
win
title?
bubbles.
You're West Ham. Where are you? I've got to
We're
look at
12
you in
points
the
off the
league.
title.
Let's
it's
not
12
even.
points
Let's
off.
please. Are we actually going to do
Only
this?
12 points, Lawless. Only 12 points, mate.
Listen, Man City have made that up in the past. So,
Boys.
I don't know.
Starting to sound like D.
I don't want.
Yeah.
I don't want Liverpool win it. I don't want Arsenal win it. I don't really have anything against Spurs, but this continual just getting a result over us for no reason when they should be getting thrashed is pissing me off. And then Villa and Newcastle, I don't know, it's splitting hairs. For some reason, a lot of Villa fans don't like City because we bought a couple of their players when we first got bought. A lot of some of
Milner,
their fans.
Barry.
Yeah, and then they got a bit salty. You know what I mean?
Delph.
I don't know whether. So,
Delph.
but yeah, for me, there's nothing between Aston Villa and Newcastle. There's no beef between Michael and
Middle
Ness.
Eastern brothers. What are you doing, LB?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know,
Look
man.
at the colour of the shirt that you're wearing, LB.
Yeah,
I'm-
true.
I mean this with the greatest respect, but we can't be having Newcastle in the top. They're 10 points off the. They're 10 points off the lead. How come you?
yeah, it's
I
true,
think
it's
it's
true.
just,
true.
is it
That's
not
why
just
they-
a
that's
hypothetical
why
thing?
they-
Who would
Oh,
you
is
so
it
if
anyone?
No,
Oh,
no, no.
if
They've
we're
got to
being
be like
realistic-
realistically.
Okay, if we're being
okay,
realistic,
okay.
then obviously I don't think Newcastle
Yeah,
can.
come
win.
on.
I would
come
They're
on.
rather.
all
I
going to
would
change
rather
the
Man.
Arsenal prediction.
I would rather just Man
Respectfully,
City win it again. If I'm honest.
You know
I
what I'd
You
say
know
then?
Oh, fuck you, Potts.
In that case, then, you know what I'd say? I'd say Aston Villa. I'd say
See, I
Aston Villa
told
because-
you.
You know what it is, yeah? It's because I listen to people like Gary Neville and all these guys on their podcasts and stuff. They're always talking about the Premier League. How the Premier League is dying. It's awful. I listened to his podcast a couple of weeks ago, and him and Ian Wright were sat there, and they're like, the state of the Premier League is shocking. I look at the Premier League table, yeah, it's so competitive at the top. You've got Aston Villa in a title race. You've got about 5 teams that could all possibly qualify for the Champions League. You've got Chelsea mid-table, which is hilarious. You've got United in disarray. You know, you got teams playing good football all the way down to the bottom.
Maybe that's
You're
why
in
Gary
dis-
Neville thinks he's dying.
You've
because Man
answered your own
United are
question,
dying.
though.
Yeah, you've
because
answered
that's-
your
yeah, but
that's
this
why-
is-
that's
but this
why
is the
this
thing.
right.
But this is the thing. This is why football fans need to stop. You know, they need to think for themselves. Too many football fans these days are sheep, and they just listen to what these pundits and people at the top of the game all say. Well, these people at the top of the game, they've got invested interest in their clubs, and they want their clubs to go to the top. This is why you think this independent regulator is coming in because it's going to make football better. You be serious. You know what I mean? There'll be something in that, yeah, to prevent other clubs from growing, and it'll be to keep the big boys at the top. You think that any of these people do anything for football? You're crazy. They're all the same. It's the same with the Super League. You think Sky Sports and that with the Super League were doing that for the good of football? Would they, mate? They were doing it because they wouldn't have had any of the TV rights. Amazon would have got it. Same with TNT Sport. You think TNT Sports, Sky Sports, BBC were doing all them protests saying this is shocking from these 6 clubs because they care about football? They did it because they don't care. They wouldn't have got any of the rights. It would have been sold to Amazon and they would have had no TV deals and they would have been sat there saying, oh, we've got no coverage for the Champions League. These people don't care about you. They don't care about the football. Yeah. So stop being a sheep and think for yourself. You've all got brains. Use them, man. I don't know where that came from.
Preach, LB.
There we go.
Oh, Miss America went wild
Mate,
there.
it is.
Yeah.
LB.
Are we still picking our title winners or not? Are we?
Yeah,
We're still doing that?
title winners, is it?
There's my
Martin,
pick.
yeah?
If West Ham can't win the league, it's Man City.
I think.
Come on,
I think. If,
West Ham,
I think
Chelsea City, man.
let's be real. Let's be real, right?
Lawless, did you just say if West Ham can't win the league?
Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
question
come
I posed. If your team, if your
Okay,
team's
okay.
The
not
team
winning
can't
it,
win the
that's-
league, and
there
you've
you
got to
go.
be realistic. Basically, if you're picking between Arsenal, Liverpool, and City,
I bet Maz says
then okay.
Arsenal. He's gonna
If that's
say
the
Arsenal.
question,
No.
then I will go with Man City again because I can't have Liverpool win it if Arsenal don't win it this year because it'll be a
So
disgrace.
wait, you don't want? You fucking hate Villa deep down in your soul.
I don't think they're in a
You're
title
very
race. I just said
You
this.
despise
Yeah,
them. You won't
yeah,
admit
no.
it because you've dissed
I don't
them.
think
You've
they
not-
will. I don't think they will be in a title
but we're
race. I
talking
said that
about
right at
the
the start.
Yeah, but points wise, what we're talking about is at the moment, it's not about will they, it's teams that could win it.
Okay,
right?
so I would pick Villa, but I don't think they will be in a title race. But if you want me to include Villa now, then I'll go Villa.
yeah, you can't backtrack because you didn't want Villa.
No, because I didn't
you
put them in. But if
Villa.
you're saying they are in, then of course I want Villa to win ahead of Liverpool and City.
See,
But I would not pick their. I would not believe they're
But
in a
so
title
wait,
race. And I
why?
can't believe that.
so wait, Potts. Why did you say Newcastle then? Why did you
Because
say
you just
Newcastle?
Because
Eh?
you just said no. Because you just
No.
said Newcastle were in it and Villa were in it a minute ago. But then we went
Yeah,
realistic, who I think's realistic, and I don't think Villa or Newcastle can win the league.
But you picked a Newcastle, right, over Villa that you would rather win. So you'd rather Newcastle win it over Villa.
Yeah, because because I respect where Newcastle come from. And what
Oh,
they've
because they
done.
bought you a pint when you went there.
Oh,
Wait,
oh,
a couple of weeks. Yeah, what was it? All right. Fans bought me a pint. You ain't. Why no
Look,
Villa fans?
Can't
Look
get
at
over that.
Lawless,
Do you know what? It
hey,
worked. It worked. That
Lawless,
worked.
Lawless,
It got
Lawless,
down.
you'll get the same treatment when you come up in March, mate.
There you go, man.
bet.
You will. You will.
I bet.
will.
And then I'll be like, no,
Maz, it must be your turn, man. Maz,
Yeah,
it must be you before you go, man.
I'm going to go with, so just quickly, I'm going to break it down. I think Arsenal, Liverpool and City are in a title race. I don't think Villa are in it. However, in saying that, I think Spurs, really weirdly, I've got a really weird soft spot for Spurs. So I'd like to see them win the league, I think.
Take care, man.
I'm-
See you later, bro. Take care.
wow.
In a bit, boys.
Jeez.
In a bit.
That I was
In a bit.
not
Take it easy, eh?
What a way to leave. What a way to leave. Maz, big up for coming on, man.
In a
Get
bit,
yourself
boys.
over to Seagull
Love it.
Social, people. We'll see you next week, Maz. In a bit, bro.
Peace, peace. In a bit, boys. Enjoyed it.
Take
In a
care,
bit.
mate.
Easy, mate.
Listen, let's do this because as much as he's been a pain in the arse most of the stream, I do need to big his team up because I think Paqueta and Kudus have deserved their flowers. And I've been a big fan of Paqueta, to be fair. I did give Lawless a bit of trolling last year because it was quite funny when they were doing rubbish. But I always thought he was a good player. But Kudus, he knows I wanted him, man, and he has been balling out. Quality goals, man. I watched the goal. To be fair, he hasn't really scored a bad goal at Man City yet. I know people say you can't score bad goals. What I mean by that is kind of tap-ins or lucky goals. This guy's been a baller, and I think he's literally settled into West Ham so quickly. Like he's not needing any settling in period. Don't really know why Moyes weren't playing him sooner. Perhaps you can explain that, Lawless. But for me, he has been class. Together, I think Paqueta and Kudus, I know they did that weird celebration thing where they sat on the banner thing. I don't know what that was all about. But it was so it must be a joy to watch them two at the moment, Lawless. And you might put me in the mud. West Ham are looking good. If they do continue, maybe they can get 7th. But I still don't think they will. Where you at, bruv?
Listen, Kudus, mate. He is, like you said, you summed up. Joy to watch. That was their little celebration. I don't know why he does it. He always sits on the advertising board. But we played good. I've been, even when we were winning, I've been complaining about how we've been playing, how it's not sustainable, how it's been a bit boring. But since second half of Spurs, Freiburg on Thursday, and today we're starting to press. Ward-Prowse is further up the pitch again. He's picking up them loose balls. He's putting on pressure. So we're seeing the best out of him. We're looking at front. We're talking about great front threes. Bowen, Kudus, and Paqueta. What a front three that is. Bowen banging in the goals this season. So I can't
Sounds
complain.
like you're inadvertently bigging up David Moyes there.
No, but look at it. He's. It just shows then my criticisms of him were correct, because now he's doing what he should have been doing all along. I can't believe Everton fans said Everton wanted Kudus. That's like, do you know what I mean? Quasimodo saying
Big up
he wants
Richo.
Rihanna or something.
They did get
Do you know what I
Ancelotti.
mean? Like, yo, yeah, that was fucking. Hey, look at him now. This is a different Everton.
To be fair, he was
there's
wanted
no
by a lot.
project.
It was wanted by Brighton, Arsenal, West Ham, and obviously Everton. I didn't realise that as well. So he's clearly a talent. I love Kudus. Yeah,
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, and he's got 9
Newcastle,
goals
Chelsea
and
as well.
1
Sorry,
assist.
Chelsea with the other ones as well. So
Yeah, nine goals and 1 assist already when he's not even had that many starts in the Premier League. Like I said, because Moyes slow burns, that's why he didn't really play him. He always does this new signings. He don't just put them straight in, even though like he's adapted quick and he's strong. He can hold the ball up. It just sticks to him. He can take players on. Then you got Bowen, who goes under the radar. 11 goals, 3 assists. Mate, like front three wise, we're looking good. I think AFCON is going to be a killer, man. AFCON's going to be tough because Kudus.
who are you losing?
Yeah, we're losing Kudus. We're losing Aguerd, and we're losing Ben Rama, who hasn't played. Moyes just decided he's not going to play him, even though he scored one of the goals in our cup final winning game. He just won't play him. And that's my problem
You
with
said
Moyes.
your front three was class, though.
Yeah, that our front three is Bowen, Kudus, Paqueta.
So how's he going to get in then?
What do you mean?
How's he going to get in the team, Ben Rama, if them three are balling out?
No, because at the end of the day, you still got to rotate. We've still got Europe. And the problem is he's not rotating. So now, this is my worry, is our squad depth. And because I was sitting there looking at the bench, I'm like, you know, because it needed just a little bit of a spark. We're 2-0 up. It was like, okay, we need just fresh legs. And I'm like, who can we bring on, like, realistically? Because Ben Rama, yeah, but he ain't been playing. Fornals, Ings, Mubama, young striker, barely plays. None of our subs play. They don't play. So you don't feel like anyone can come on and change the game because you don't make this. Like, we've got Liverpool on Wednesday, Man United on Saturday, and you're leaving it to the 85th minute at 3-0 up to take off Kudus and Paqueta, and then you're leaving on Bowen, if I remember rightly. That's criminal. That's bad game and player management, if you ask me. So it's not all praise and glory for Moyes. That's terrible. You know, you've got to manage these. But 3-0 up, they were never scoring 3 goals. Taking off Bowen was not going to allow them to just score 3 goals. Come on. So that's my worry is squad depth.
I've got a question, Lawrence. Do you think the game would have played out the same had Kufal had been sent off like he should have been?
Yeah, he should have been sent off.
Well, no. It was right in front of me. That was like right near the end of the game. So how would it have played?
Oh, was it? I didn't realise, to be fair. I don't know what time it was. Or anything like that, so.
But to be fair, it looked bad. And but he's running in for the ball. Yeah, it's reckless. But it's his shoulder hits him in the face. I think that's a yellow.
He knew what he was doing.
No, I don't think he was trying to hit him in the face. I think he was trying to give him a stiff tackle. I think he was trying to put one on him, but he obviously missed and then just ended up connecting with his. He weren't trying to connect in his face. That's what I'm saying.
Is it not his
he was
elbow?
trying to snap it,
or like his forearm.
Yeah, it was like I think
Looked like he went into it like that.
I think it was his shoulder. I can't. I need to watch it back, but still, he should. I think it should have been a yellow. It was in front of me. It was so funny. All the fans, because it around me, were booing him, and I'm like, I was trying to say, like, as if the guy's gonna time waste when we're 3-0 up. Like the guys, you could tell he was hurt. I watched. I was like, ooh, like I said, it was right in front of me. So the game wouldn't have played out different because we was already winning.
I didn't realise that.
Emerson is brilliant. He goes under the radar. Not enough people talk about how good Emerson is at left back. Again, key. But again, if you take out Emerson, and this is what I was saying on my channel, you remove Emerson, the next player is Creswell. The drop-off is astronomical. You know what I mean? You look at it in all of these positions. Now, Mavropanos he's played a bit of Europe. I'm not so against it, but when Aguerd goes to AFCON, obviously you got two right-sided.
So all this time, you agreed with me. All this time. This is why I didn't put West Ham 7th, because your squad isn't good enough. And now look.
No, but here's the thing, Potts. Here's the thing. Lest you forget, my friend, that when we was in that serious top 4 race and we ended up finishing 6th, we had a very thin squad. Moyes likes a thin squad. He likes to work with the same players. So we challenged the squad, though. I don't like it. I don't think any fan likes it. I think every fan feels
you got to be hanging on now to those 11 players staying fit, bruv.
Well, look, obviously, we got Antonio to come back. He's the only one who I think is squad depth. I don't think he's brilliant like these days, but still, he fits Moyes' system. January's huge. You know, really.
Have you got
really
money
important. Though? Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to try and offload Ings to somewhere. I think we should get a refund from Villa. Oh yeah, just perfect. Man United.
It wouldn't surprise me. I said this in June.
Hoyland ain't scoring nothing. Hoyland is not doing it, mate.
Yeah, that's not his
Rasmus. Yeah, well, I'm just saying, put Ings in that team. 2 up top.
Well, my 2 strikers that aren't scoring. Brilliant.
Yeah.
To be fair, Ings is a little bit of a playmaker. He's got a decent pass on him, from what I've seen at least. He's got a decent pass on him.
I ain't seen none of that shit.
Listen, this will be lawless when Danny Ings actually end up staying at West Ham.
He needs to go. He's on 125 grand a week.
Can you imagine it?
He's finished, man. He's finished.
Danny Ings signs 2-year contract extension at West Ham.
You know what?
By Moyes.
I might go and do that Soufal challenge on Moyes myself. I might just have to do that because that will go down as one of the worst ever West Ham signings. He scored 2 goals since January. That is undoubtedly one of the worst. No, the thing is, with Scamacca, he banged more goals in than Ings, and he got injured, but I don't think he was like one of our highest paid players. But Ings, we paid 15 million.
45 million.
Yeah, it was, but we managed to recoup like 25 of it at least. But when I look at Ings, and he did score more, I can't remember how many goals he scored, but it was at least like 7 or something. But Ings, what did we pay for Ings? Like 15 million or something?
Something along those lines, yeah.
Highest paid player. We needed a striker, and like I said, he's just doing nothing. And Moyes keeps bringing him on because, I don't know, put him in the shop window. I don't know why Moyes brings him on, but he brings him on.
Got the same amount of Prem goals as Hoyland, man.
Yeah, it's true.
You could have paid 75 million instead of 15.
Yeah, it could have been worse. Yeah, look, the squad depth will worry any fan. You would sleep easier at night. But what makes me laugh, I see Saeed going, oh, Ten Hag, man, he could have signed Kudus, but he chose Anthony, man. And I was just like, fucking brilliant.
Mate, there's a lot of people that could have signed Kudus ahead of some of the players they got, like Man United, Mount, Arsenal, Havertz. Obviously, there's others as well. Like, but for me, I think he's been a baller. Last day on West Ham before we move. Do you think, Lawless, that you can go far in their domestic cups? Obviously, Carabao Cup, you got Liverpool, which can be tough at Anfield. But the domestic cups and Europe and finish in the top 7, like you think, is that like realistic for you with the squad problems you got?
I think the FA Cup will be the one to suffer. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, Liverpool is going to be huge. I'm waiting to see what team they put out on Wednesday. After. Yeah, do you know what? I think we can. I don't think we can beat
them. Of course they can.
Yeah, I think it'll be tough beating their strongest team at Anfield. We don't have the best record there, but surely after that fight that Man United gave them on the weekend, and ahead of some key games in the title race, surely they'll rotate. So yeah, man, we win that. If we win that, I'm saying that we win the cup, the Carabao. I'm saying we win it.
Who's left in that competition?
Newcastle,
Newcastle, Chelsea.
Chelsea.
No, but Newcastle, Chelsea, one of those is going out. So Newcastle or Chelsea.
I hope. Sorry, Pete, but I hope Chelsea beat you because I'll take Chelsea all day long. But the thing is, they have got more experience though in the later stages.
No, but they're terrible, man.
Well, I'm not gonna lie.
Do the players have that experience?
Yeah, they do as a club, but not as a team, man. They're awful. Who else is actually there, man?
Everton. Everton have got someone.
Everton and Fulham, Chelsea and Newcastle, West Ham, Liverpool. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah,
mate.
Oh no, Port Vale, Middlesbrough.
Oh, there's two more. Port Vale, Middlesbrough. Yeah, that's
can't remember.
right.
Yeah, Port Vale, mate. Come on, up the Vale.
I hope you beat Liverpool because if we get through, we're beating you.
Really? Yeah. Really? Oh yeah. All those injuries you're crying about. Oh, we
still beat you. We still beat you.
We got an injury. Kudus, mate. Kudus is gonna dance all over your team, mate.
Quality player.
He's gonna be the
Big
first
Sven
West Ham player.
Big Sven is back. From
Big Sven.
The brick wall.
Listen, now Kudus, man, will dance all around that wall, man, and just make it crumble. He's gonna hit 15 to 20 goals this season. Easy.
Yeah. Hey,
had a
in the league or all comps.
All comps, but I think he could hit 15 in the league. Yeah, I think he can. Like
he's on 5 now, isn't he? 5 in the league.
Yeah, he's on 5 in the league. Yeah, and he's on good form. For all comps, easily he's doing that. So yeah, listen, Pete. I think Dan is Potts is shaking a little bit because he's like shit. Like he's starting to see the power of our front three, and he's like shit. I said these would be 10th. You know what I mean? Now he's looking at us.
Mate,
come on!
It's time for you to practice what you preach. Chill, man. It's 17 games. Relax. You told me to just relax. 17 games.
I'm just saying. I like Billy. I've got a little bit of
You've still got a spin
I
squad.
do some bench press. You know what I mean?
10 minutes about how your squad is really thin. Oh, I'm getting a bit worried. And now I'm the one who's worried. I'm fine. West Ham. If West Ham finish 7th, I won't actually care, bro. I won't care. I've got no significance to me. Unlike you with Arsenal, West Ham are no significance to me whatsoever. If you finish 7th, I will praise you as a friend and say,
no. You'll be in the mud. You're in the mud because I'm going to be working with Sam on a epic video. Yeah, because
Sam the Arsenal fan, yeah. Sam the Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
Okay. But Sam has to be neutral in this. Sam has to be neutral.
Yeah, he does. And he has been neutral, to be fair to him.
But do you think? Tell me right now, who's the bigger favourites to get top 7? Right, West Ham or Brighton? Who's everyone think?
West Ham.
West Ham, well, in current form, you have to, don't you?
I think West Ham are, to be fair. But if Brighton do get their players back, like Maz has said, they've got 3 or 4 out. I think they've got as good a chance. But I do think West Ham could be in Brighton's situation where they're like, Jesus, we got Danny.
You know what it is though, Dan? With Brighton, I don't know. Obviously, we've done Brighton before. I don't want to do it to death, but like, do you feel like maybe Premier League teams and managers are maybe starting to figure out a little bit the De Zerbi system? And
no, I think they've just sold too many players. LB, I think they sold their best players, and now they've got injuries as well. They're missing Caicedo, they're missing McAllister. They've got rid of Basuma over the years. They've got rid of Ben White. They've got rid of players in positions that, let's be real, have gone to teams and haven't really set the world alight. I mean, Ben White's been good for us, to be fair. Caicedo and McAllister now finding their feet. Basuma's only just started to be good at Tottenham, and they have replaced them. But I just think it's like Southampton and Liverpool. Years and years of selling players and selling players and selling players. It bit them in the backside, and maybe it's starting to do that with Brighton now. I don't know.
Sean Dyche has got more Premier League wins than De Zerbi this season. That's mental.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's mad.
mental.
They'd be 8th, by the way. They'd be up above West Ham, Everton if they didn't have that deduction. That's crazy, man. That's absolutely mad.
Yeah.
But
we could finish above Man United as well. They're 1 point behind. If we beat them next game, you know what I mean?
Let's have it, man.
Teams.
Is it your place, Lawrence? Is it your place?
Yeah, it's at West Ham.
So, forever blah.
Listen, we'll see if they come and park the bus like they did at Anfield. You know what I mean? And try and soak up the pressure there. You know what I mean?
Fans celebrating a 0-0. Oh dear.
Well, let's get on to it lastly. I was hoping Errol could join us, but it looks like
let's
he's not
speak to
gonna.
the Liverpool fan first. Hang on, Errol, what have you got to say on yes? Errol?
Go on, Lawless, do your impersonation.
He's like,
Errol, we're giving you
listen,
time
lad.
to land. Hurry up, mate. Giving you
Let
time
me
to
land. Let me land on Paul
Let me
lad. Let me land.
That man would have been here at 5 to 8 tonight if they'd have absolutely trounced us. Just want to say that.
Yeah, it's bad form, man. He did say jump on, but you know he is genuinely busy. But Dan, I mean, I watched it in the pub, and I thought Man United, to be fair, surprised me because I thought they were going to get trounced, man. I had 3-4-1, honestly, and I think you probably did deep down as well, man.
What, you
So
thought we were going to score there?
I did. But you, I mean, 34 shots, man. Jesus Christ, Liverpool got to look at themselves. I think they've got to hold a massive L here, man. Liverpool.
100%.
I'm not letting them get away with it. I'm sorry, I'm not letting Liverpool get away with it. We questioned Darwin Nunez in the chat. We questioned then Diaz as well. He's been poor. You know, people were ranting about how great this guy is. Darwin Nunez, brilliant. I actually quite like Darwin Nunez still, but he has to take some of these chances. I thought they were poor, man. I thought they were poor. And I think they'll have to look at themselves. We go there next, and I'm now thinking, oh, maybe I'm a little bit more spanking by any means. But I do look at that and think, maybe that's not as much of a difficult place. Man United didn't make it look difficult or hard. So what did you make of it, bro? Talk to me. Man United aren't in the mud this week.
Anfield, right? To go to Anfield without our player of the month, Harry Maguire, and get a clean sheet. I was in Wonderland, mate. I was walking in a winter wonderland.
Johnny Evans, man. Sir Johnny Evans. You've said it before.
Sir Jonathan Evans of Northern Ireland does it again. Get that in there. No, look.
Is there no shame in how you played, though, Dan?
No, Lawless, do you know something? There isn't, Lawless, because we've been here week in, week out saying how poor Manchester United are. If we'd have turned up there yesterday, if we turned up there yesterday going, we might be able to sneak something here, which we nearly did, by the way. We'd have been absolutely buggered. And like seriously, if Liverpool could have finished yesterday, it would have been a cricket score. There's no denying that. I hear people saying Anana masterclass, load of rubbish. He had shots at him. His distribution was still poor. I think. Do you know something? For me, and I don't mean this in any disrespect to Everton fans, but it felt like a game watching Everton at Liverpool, just going there and trying not to lose. I'm sorry, my wife's doing the bloody. Danielle, I'm on something here. Can you...
I'd love it if she just.
There's the slipper come across the room.
Literally, no. But let me get back to it. Seriously, man. Right. Seriously, to go there. All jokes aside, with the amount of injuries that we had out, and you try and make me feel bad for getting a 0-0 draw at Anfield, a place where they've won 7 in 7, a place where they are absolutely dominating teams. You may say it's a sad fucking state of the times. No, I would have took 0-0 all day long.
I wonder if Alex Ferguson feels that way because he must have been disgusted.
Well, that was 10 years ago, mate. That's 10 years ago.
I'm saying Alex Ferguson now. He's probably watching it and going, "Never in my."
No, he's not. He's sat there like me. He's sat there like me, going, "Fucking buzzing. How the hell did we get a 0-0 there?"
Did you not see it on Sky? You see,
did you say 0-0 win?
Up after the end of the game. He's got the biggest smile on his face.
Yeah, of course he has. We've spoke about this week in, week out. And Lawless, when you said last week about this isn't a crisis anymore, this is Manchester United. LB, I know you want to, cook me, whatever, but I'm not going to sit here and feel bad for being happy at getting a 0-0 at Anfield with Johnny Evans at centre back. Okay,
he was the shit a week ago. Sorry, weeks ago, wasn't he? He was it a couple of weeks ago, according to you. He was the man, Johnny Evans.
Still is the man. Clean sheet at Anfield. Who has got a clean sheet at Anfield? Hey, come on now. The things that I didn't like. So there's 2 things I didn't like. The one I didn't like Anana coming out after the game and saying, "Oh, I was the best goalkeeper in the Champions League last season. Now people are saying I'm the worst. Anfield didn't bother me. Shut up, mate. Shut up. Have a look at what you've done all season, mate. Don't come out with chest. Come out with fucking humble. Be humble." And the second thing I didn't like, and I hate, this is the first time we spoke about it, refereeing decision again yesterday. Absolutely.
That was a disgrace.
Absolute disgrace. If a referee can't look at what the atmosphere is like, the emotion in a game, and he can't sit there and go, it's emotion, I'll just stick with the yellow instead of giving him a red. What are we doing in this game? And
Was it
also,
Michael Oliver?
Nunez, by the way, first half, gets booked.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why he didn't get sent off, because it's Anfield.
Yeah, facts.
I know you lot have all said this for years about Old Trafford, things get away, but that was because it was Anfield. Simple.
Well, this is the thing. It's the consistency as well. You could argue that the challenge itself was a yellow card, then kicking the ball away, and then clapping the referee. You know, if you're doing it to Darlow, then you've got to do it to Nunez. You've not given Nunez that red card for 3 bookable offences, arguably.
Yeah.
Then you shouldn't be doing it to Darlow. It's the consistency that we want. If they'd have done it to Nunez and they'd have done it to Darlow, then fair enough.
And this isn't the first time
we banged on about it.
It's at Anfield, by the way. Canate against Liverpool should have been sent off. It's the same thing. No referee has got the bollocks to go against the Anfield faithful.
We went there a couple of years ago, and James Milner committed like literally mass murder on Bernardo Silva the whole game, and he didn't get. And in the end, he got took off by Klopp. And you were right, Canate done it before. It's a disgrace. I don't know, man. I don't understand why a player going like this. Oh, why is that a yellow card?
It's not like he's turned around and said, "You absolute." See you next Tuesday. He's just gone like that, and then he's done that again.
At the end of the day, it's a 92nd minute of the game. Yeah, United are in the mud as a football club. There's so much pressure on United. No one expected them to get a 0-0. This is a huge result. There's a throw-in that's just gone out. The referee's made an incorrect call. He made an incorrect call, which could have then resulted in maybe Liverpool scoring a goal. And obviously, he's going to be going sick. He didn't run up to the referee, swear in his face. He just turned around and went, "No, wrong decision," and he gets booked. Why is that? Why is that a yellow card? I don't get it.
Why is Michael Oliver officiating in the Premier League? He's got history with being an awful referee. And honestly, I said this last night, and I stand by this decision. Referees should be made to come out and explain their decisions instead of being put in cotton wool, put back in the bag until the next time they come out and referee a game. And it's an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace.
I thought it was a madness. And Michael Oliver, I mean, best referee, people tell me. I'm thinking, what? This guy is shambolic. He's been absolutely awful. And I mean, they're all terrible. Let's be real. But that was absolute madness. I couldn't believe it.
If that's a sent off, why didn't Haaland get sent off against Bobby? What was his name? Baldy. When City were wrongly pulled up when it should have.
Well, this is the problem about it. They're trying to eradicate the emotion from the game. Yeah. So like they don't. What are players meant to do? Meant to just so that City one, right? It's a 93rd minute of the game or whatever. It's 3-3. Grealish is through on goal, and you've incorrectly pulled it back. What do you expect the players to do? Just go, no problem, ref. Mistakes happen. Which is, by the way, what they actually do expect you, because that's what they said. They said, well, if it's the open net, then it's not a problem. So you just and then again, there's the United one. You make a mistake. I'm sorry.
Mate,
why they've got way too far on this dissent thing.
Howard Webb, after that decision with you guys, comes out and said, he's absolutely gutted. Who cares? He made an absolute shocker. Demote him, you know what I mean? Do not put him in charge of a Premier League game again now. This is the problem. You know, I get that this whole dissent thing, I get that. But that is not okay. The first one you can argue maybe is dissent, the throwing the arm, but that is not 2 yellow cards in 5 seconds.
It's not a yellow card, Dan. Throwing my arm like that.
I'm saying you can argue that. You could argue.
Shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't. No, of course it shouldn't, mate. Of course it shouldn't. But to put 2 yellow cards in 5 seconds for that.
Yeah. He's just an idiot, man. You know, you hear it all the time about these referees don't know football. I used to referee. You know, if people come up to you, they swear in your face. Why? I used to do it when I was a football player. We all done it. That's the game. You know what I mean? I don't understand why that's just happened. We've all played football. That's always happened. You give the referee stick. Yeah, I used to referee. Players used to give me a stick. Is it personal? No. You get it because you played football. You get it. You've made a mistake. Players they're not just going to be like, oh, never mind. They're going to say, referee, you're blah, 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 blah. And at the end of the game, you go home chilling. These referees are getting so much protection. It's unbelievable. The only thing that we should be stopping. Just quickly.
They don't have to come out, do they? They don't have to ever come out. That's what I can't stand.
Before
manager has to come out. The players do. The ref never does. It's bollocks.
Yeah, the only thing that we should be stopping, is obviously no physical contact with the referee, obviously, because you don't want to see what happened in Turkey. That's ridiculous. Yeah. And you want to try and avoid, in my opinion, as much as possible, the surrounding of a situation. And listen, the City one, the players did surround him. But you can understand why they surrounded him. It's the 93rd minute. You throw on goal and you pulled it back. So, and we've been fined 120 grand for that, you know. But it's like, well, what do you want us to do then? You've just made a massive error. All the players are just meant to go, all right, mate.
Just accept it. Yeah.
Well, that's what they're saying, Billy. Because
No, I'm completely
it's
with
ridiculous.
you. You can't expect the players to just go, yeah, nice one. Oh, yeah, whatever. And just leave it at that. Of course, tensions run high. It's football. It's It's a complete
gold
joke.
in the chat. See gold in the chat. I'm not bashing my team at all.
He's talking about Lawless.
Oh, is he? All right, okay.
Yeah, he's talking to Lawless. Yeah.
Is he?
No, he said Dan. He means Dan Lawless because Lawless said,
"Why did you
come to Anfield?" Yeah.
Absolutely not. And I'll tell you something as well. This is my worry with Manchester United now. We saw Kobe Mainu go to Anfield yesterday, 18 years old, and play like he'd been playing in the Premier League
He's a
for the last
baller,
10,
man.
15
He's a
years.
baller. Got to keep him in the team, man.
But United will do what they do with all these youngsters. They'll pin all the hopes on him. And also, I think something Ten Hag needs to take from yesterday. 2 CDMs. You can't play 1 CDM in the Premier League. He's got to stick with playing the 2 now. He's got to, because if we go to West Ham and play the 1 CDM, we'll get slapped up again. Simple as that.
Yeah, but wait a sec. Is that not reverting back to going back to results rather than short-termism and rather than focusing on style?
Season, mate. We need at the moment, mate. Considering how bad, we need to.
But at some point, you've got to change that short-termism. You're not getting top 4, so that's is now not the best time to implement the style and just go right. We've put top 4.
It's not been working, though, mate. It's not been working.
But then the manager's got to go. Then the manager has to go. Because if he's not bringing in a style because it's not been working, what's he there for? This is the point that I've been making for months and months and months, that this manager is not doing, he's not meeting the requirements of what he should be doing at Manchester United. He's just simply not. Yesterday, okay, it's a good point for Man United based on where you are. Still a shambolic performance from Manchester United Football Club. Let's forget about the result. It's a shambolic performance. So at what point are we going to say, how long is this manager getting away with it? Got a result yesterday. Does anyone on this panel think United are in the long term going in the right direction based off a 0-0 yesterday? It was a terrible performance. They went there.
Hang on. There's how many players out, LB?
But bro, we all play the same style.
No. We've spoken about Newcastle having players out. I'm not having it. We spoke about Newcastle. We're all saying, oh, Newcastle should be doing with the players we are missing this season, the players we are having to play. We had to bring Regulon in because we didn't have a left back. We've got no Casemiro, regardless of if he had a shit start to the season. Martinez got rushed back. We've got Rashford bang out. I'm not shouting. Jesus Christ. Rashford bang out of form. Anthony out of form. Midfielders missing. We have struggled this season. We haven't been able to field continuity in our season. We've not been able to build something with the players that we've got. We're constantly patching it up. So I disagree. I'm not saying that we're going to challenge the title.
Let me rebuttal that. Let me rebuttal that, Dan. The difference is if City, or Arsenal, or maybe even Liverpool, and I don't know about Newcastle, I've not seen enough Pete can say, if some of our players go down, we fundamentally play the same system, which helps you in these situations. It's sort of like we can't implement the style because we've not got the players. But if you implement the style,
have you not got 1 win in 6?
Yeah, but we're playing the same style, and we just won the treble, Dan. This is the point.
Yeah, you did last season, but this season you're not at the moment. You 1 win in 6. You're relying on Kevin De Bruyne at the moment. That is your big fucking.
Okay, but you're just ignoring the last 6 years.
No, I'm not ignoring the last 6 years, but you're telling me this, and I'm saying to you, this isn't what you're saying. It isn't working for you. 1 win in 6, and you're telling me that.
But you're just ignoring the whole point. The point is, City, Arsenal, Liverpool all have a style, and if players get injured, they just replace the players and they'll play the same style. Whereas you're just saying we've not got the players, so we just have to play like shambolic, sitting back, defending for our lives. That's just ridiculous.
So did you expect United to go there and try and play them off the park yesterday? Did you?
No, I expect United to get beat 5-0.
Okay, so. You expected them 5. Okay, hands up here. Who expected less than 4 goals yesterday? who honestly thought that United would lose by less than 3 or 4 goals yesterday?
I thought 5-0.
4. I think I put 3 or 4. I can't remember. But yeah.
We went there and we shithoused the fucking 0-0 draw. Was it pretty? No, it wasn't. And do I want football to be like that for the rest of the season? No, I don't. But yesterday, I think
you just get out of there. You just take that and get out of there. To be fair,
no, that's not the point.
Ain't happy. It's not.
You got the point. That's a great point. The point is, Man United should not be going to Anfield playing like that under this manager. You should be going there trying to win the football match.
Oh yeah, no, I think everyone
We're
agrees
not
with
Man
that.
United 10 years
Yeah, I
ago.
agree
We've
with
always
that.
established this.
There's
We're
need-
not.
There's needs must though. Needs must is that
Exactly that.
everybody expected. Like, well, to be fair, on our channel, people were putting in polls of what scores it was going to be at Anfield, and there was one that was had like 8-0, 7-0, 5-0, 6-0. So it needs must. Everybody expected it in football that they were going to be hammered, and actually, it surprised me that Ten Hag changed tact and went very defensive and sat behind the ball, because in games gone by this season and last season, he's had that mentality of, no, we're going to go, we're going to compete, we're going to go against them. And actually, he showed me something different on Sunday that I was genuinely surprised about. And actually, looking back, Man United had the best chances.
We
Man
had
United
two chances.
should have probably nicked the game, like with poor finishing, if I'm honest with you. And that's what surprised me more than anything. I think
Crazy.
the question marks, in my opinion, shouldn't be about Man United, because I think Man United did the right thing for this game in isolation. The question marks are for the man that's not here right now, and that's Errol, because I was massively disappointed about Liverpool. The whole everything. They just opened up another 7,000 seats in their stadium. That is the worst atmosphere I've ever seen in a Premier League game before. It was an absolute embarrassment.
To have Manchester United, where we are at the moment, out singing in Anfield, how does that happen?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Listen, Billy, I know you got to shoot, brother. You've been trying to get off. Big up, man. Total
Cheers,
Screamers
mate.
podcast. Make sure you head over. Make sure you go follow AV Billy. We'll see you next week, bruv. Take it easy
Thanks,
and have a
mate.
good week.
Take it easy. Happy
In a bit,
Christmas.
Bill.
Villa
Good
top
Billy.
at Christmas. You heard it here first.
Yeah, mate. You never know. It could bloody
Chest
happen.
and
Listen,
dip, man. I see
we're gonna
that.
wrap. But
What'd you
yeah,
say,
chest
LV?
and goes off.
I said chest
gonna-
and dip. I seen it.
We can't not go without talking about Lewis Miley, surely.
Absolutely. No, I was going to say we're going to wrap up before we bring you in. I've got to say about Liverpool very quickly, though. Liverpool, for me, I still have my question marks over whether they can win the title. I don't think it's going to be like one of these, Arsenal and are so far ahead. I think it's going to be a massive game, Arsenal-Liverpool. It's a shame Errol's not on, because I think that game is huge for us as well as them, because obviously mentality-wise, we ain't gone to Anfield since 2012 season and won. So that is mad. So we have to go there. That's going to be huge. I was massively disappointed with Liverpool. I thought they were a shambles, if I'm honest. And I know Manchester United had just got to get in and out of there. They ain't going to want to play like that for the rest of the season, of course. But they actually get the job done and do something. Just get in there, get out of there, and take a point. Because a point at Anfield is never a bad result, for sure. You are right, Pete. I'm going to leave it with you, man. I'm really impressed by this kid, man. I keep talking to you. I didn't know anything about him. You brought him up with me. You said that this kid's one to watch, as well as Elliot Anderson. And I watched both of them, and I've been so impressed, bruv. But he's been out. Lewis Miley is not. So young as well, bruv. So young. I think Newcastle have been given a little bit of disrespect over the last week. And people will go, oh, you're sucking them up. You're sucking up to him. I'm not sucking up to him at all. I'm actually, yeah, exactly. Lawless will say I am. But
10 men Fulham.
when people start to say, oh, when he Howe's his future in doubt now, they're out of the Champions League, group of death, they don't look like they're going to get Champions League football. I think if they end the season and they're 8th and they're trophyless, you can start to put that question mark towards it. But for me, I think Newcastle are still well in with a Champions League shout. I don't think that they're going to be a shambles when some of their players are back. We're starting to see now, I think anyway, some of the reasons as to why we should stick with Newcastle a bit longer. But that's just me. Where you at, Pete?
I'll be honest with you. I'm still really disappointed about exiting Europe. Not necessarily the Champions League, because it wasn't in our hands. But for me, at 1-0 up, 55 minutes in, we should be taking Europa League. And I think it kind of, for me, it kind of tells the story of the whole campaign. Like, injuries and all that aside, we've been naive in big moments, in key moments over the course of the group stages. You go back to Dortmund, for example, in both games, naive at St. James's Park, naive away from home, and naive again against AC Milan. I think it's down to a lack of experience. I'm frustrated because I expected us to get to sort of 75 minutes and go, you know what? If we can't go and nick it, because you could tell the players were tired, they were spent, and they kept going and going and going. And I know that's Eddie Howe's mentality, but for me, I would have just gone, you know what, shut up shop. Let's take Europa League. That's still a positive at the group of death. And, it will take the experience and we'll move on. And Eddie Howe will learn a lot from that. And so will a lot of the players that, for the first time, they've been playing Champions League football. But I'm disappointed at that. But it's all a learning curve. For me now, it's about the league. It's about finishing as high as we possibly can in the league. We're starting to get a few players back, or we were. And then we get Shaw and Joe Linton that go off injured. So it's just like it's a never-ending situation. But I'm still confident we can...
Is Joe Linton's a bad one, Pete?
His was a hamstring. They're apparently they're both not serious. I think Shaw's a glute injury. They're not long term, but they'll probably see them out tomorrow and maybe the Luton game at the weekend. So it might be earliest sort of Boxing Day against Forest at home that we'll see him back. But with all these injuries, the emergence of Lewis Miley, and I have to say, this lad is, I said it to you boys in one of the first episodes of this season about Lewis Miley. He is a special talent. 6'3", only 17, but his maturity on the ball, he reminds me of some of the top players around that have gone from a young age and performed at a high level. His ceiling is way beyond Elliot Anderson's, in my opinion. This guy, he is ready now. Like, we're getting players back, but for me, I think Willock struggles to get back in the team. Longstaff's not been getting back in the team off the back of him. They only rested Miley because he's been playing so much football. Joe Linton comes off, Miley comes on, and we actually play better off the back of that. And honestly, to get his first goal at the Gallagher was just an amazing to see. And we talk about Kobe Mino, who's a talented boy.
Maturity, mate. That boy's got so much maturity. That your boy, so much maturity on the ball.
You could tell when we played against you guys, they played against each other. And I'm not going to lie, Miley was levels above him. And everyone's bigging up Kobe Mino, and I get it because he's a talented boy as well. But for me, Lewis Miley is he's just getting better and better. And the more he's being exposed to games, the better he's going to become. But look, we're hopefully moving in the right direction. We've got... I honestly don't know what team we're going to be putting out tomorrow against Chelsea, whether we're going to go for it, whether he's going to play people like Dummett and Richie. I hope we go for it because I think we've got a big chance of beating Chelsea. We have to. But then for me, it's all about the league. We need to be pushing after that because then the quarterfinals or the semi-finals are not until January. It's about the league, hammering the league. We've got Luton away, Forest at home, and then we've got the big January. We will be signing players. There's no doubt about it. I think we'll get at least 3. 1 permanent, couple of loans maybe from abroad. I think we'll be in a position to really attack the second half of the season. I keep saying it, but I'm excited to start and getting a few players back. Botman coming back yesterday, only played 10 minutes, but the guy is just so good. It's so good to have him back. He just brings a calmness to our defense. And we need a new goalkeeper. Martin Dubravka is not it.
Aaron Ramsdale. Aaron Ramsdale.
We shouldn't have allowed you to give him back, Dan. We shouldn't have allowed you.
Best receipt we ever kept. That was, mate. Best receipt we ever kept.
No, oh my God! I said last January. I said when he came back, I said there's a reason why Man United are giving him back and going with Tom Heaton. Get rid. And now we've got him, and people will big him up because he got a clean sheet. But I tell you what, he should have saved. He should have saved Chukwueze's goal on Wednesday night. He should have saved at least 2 of Tottenham goals the week before, and on the Thursday against Everton, he should have kept out 2 of their 3 as well. Shocking goalkeeper. We need a brand new number 1.
Yeah, you do, man. Aaron Ramsdale's looking like he could be available, man. I know you don't want him, but that could be better than Dubravka.
There's rumours about the fact that Eddie Howe wants him.
Really? Who does he want, Pete? Who?
Aaron Ramsdale.
Because you weren't. I remember I pulled you up on this a couple of streams ago. You weren't massively keen on him. You said if you wanted a new number 1, you want to go big, which I agree. I think if you are going to replace Pope in the long term, I think you should go for like a top class goalkeeper, not Aaron Ramsdale.
Who they getting in January? Really,
there's an up and coming goalkeeper, Mohamed Ashfali, who's at Valencia, who we've been scouting a lot. He's only 22, Georgian international. He looks tops. he looks a top goalkeeper. Really, really good goalkeeper. And like I say, 22, got lots of years ahead of him. However, if you're going to offer me Ramsdale on loan for the rest of the season, I take it because I actually think
We'd love it there with your fans.
They're not too far away. Him and Pope are not too far away in terms of levels. They're probably quite even, in my opinion. So I would take that to the end of the season. But like you've just said, LB, if we're going to get a new goalkeeper to dethrone Pope, he has to be better, and it has to be clear that he's better. And
like Craig says in the chat, if you do get Ramsdale, you got to put a clause in a contract, tell his dad get off the podcast, man, because that is not beneficial for anyone, man.
I'm not gonna lie. That's gonna impact on his move.
Of course it will. Of course it will.
That happening, that's gonna be big question marks because Eddie Howe don't accept any of that rubbish. He won't accept any of that rubbish. He's gonna be like, you need to sort that out. That can't happen.
Big up, Nick, man. Big up, Nick. Let him have an opinion. Why not? Let him have an opinion. Listen, I don't want to sell Ramsdale this year because it would be stuck with Carl Hine. We got to play Brentford and David Raya can't play. So imagine having to play Carl Hine in goal at the Emirates against Brentford when you're going for a title. Can't happen, man. So if we're going to sell Ramsdale, we've got to try and get somebody in. I think I would rather see him go Newcastle out of the others. And that's not me again sucking off Newcastle. I just don't want him to go Chelsea or Man United, personally. And I think he'd do well at Newcastle. I really do. I think Nick Pope's a great goalkeeper, but I actually look at the attributes and think that they're very, very close. But I think Ramsdale could outjump Nick Pope in that team. So I think it could be a good move for Newcastle. But we'll see what happens, man. Sorry, LB, or whoever, someone coming in.
For you, it's a question for you boys. What do you think is an acceptable season for Newcastle in terms of
top four? It has to be top four, man. It has to be top four. For me, yeah.
Why?
Yeah, Champions League football.
Why? Because you got there last year.
I want it, but
you got there last year, Pete. You got there last year. So that doesn't mean, Pete, if you don't get top four, you sack the manager. Yeah. But the expectation. No, but I'm saying, you're saying why. So I'm not saying if you don't get it, you sack the manager. You can't get top four and then just accept that if you don't get top four, that's okay. Because then you just accepting, well, regression is fine. The aim for Newcastle United Football Club should be to get back into that top four.
Yeah, I agree.
As I said to you before, I think one thing that you need to do is win a trophy as soon as possible, because that is something like City when we were first bought that was hanging up. We won the FA Cup quite early on, and I think it would have. I think obviously this is irrelevant, but it would have been really beneficial if you would have won that trophy last year, because I think that you can then just sort of focus on the Champions League and the Premier League. The Champions League this year, huge disappointment. One win. Bottoming against AC Milan, but it reminds me, Pete, of our early years in the competition. Slightly naive at certain times. You're going into obviously group of death. We had a couple of those, but that'll come with experience, as you've already said. So, whilst it's hugely disappointing that you bottomed the group and you only won one game out of 6, the experience will improve that. But the expectation has to be to get back into the top four. If you get top four last year, right, and then go, oh, I'm targeting 5th, or that's my expectation. Ooh, that's not how football works. You've got to get back in there. But like I say, don't mean if you don't get there, you sack the manager. But the expectation and the target has to be to get back into the top four. If
Newcastle get Champions League football, that is a great season for them. If they get a trophy in Champions League football, that's like, boom, unbelievable season. But for me, if you was to come, let's say you come 6th, you're still in Europe, but you're in the Europa League, you finish trophyless, people will, and maybe that's right or wrong, that's people's opinions, they will look at Newcastle and go, that's not a great season. They'll be disappointed. And I think deep down Newcastle fans will, because there was a real harsh bloody group to get. I still think you should have gone through, in my opinion. So I think you should have done better in a couple of those games. But you want to go back to Champions League again. You don't want to go back down in the Europa League next season. Personally, I don't think you should. And I think Newcastle, for what they will, and I think you will sign players in the January. I think you will go big in the summer. I don't think you can be a club now with the money you've got and the management, the way you've been set up, the way you run, the way you're looking at it. I think you should be a Champions League football club now and bare minimum moving forward. I understand that it's difficult with Villa and Spurs and, the top three we've just been speaking about. I get it. It's not a breeze to walk in there, but I do think that Newcastle were good enough. And I think if I looked at how the players of who I rate and the way that you run, the manager who you rate, I think Newcastle and Villa should be coming within Champions League this season. I really do. I think Spurs, as much as Ange has done well and all this, their squad is ridiculous. I mean, your squad's thin, but theirs is a joke, mate, if I'm honest. And that's why I always said Spurs will drop out. Lawless, was a clown really putting them third. It was actually quite embarrassing, really, for a West Ham fan to put them third was a joke, really. I'm sure he was trolling.
Clip this because they still could finish. Clip this, Sam, because How many points are Spurs off third? Where were they? They are what 4 points off of third.
You're a Spurs fan now.
5
You're a Spurs fan now.
I'm not. This is what pisses me off. Is you're making me have to support them because I want to see you in the mud. But clip that, Sam, because part of me is going to be coming back. And if they finish third, I'd rather if they finish third than fourth. I'm going to say that. If they're going to finish in the top 4, because if they finish third, I can come back and throw it in your face. Because I know if they finish fourth and I go,
I see what you mean.
you're going to go, yeah.
You mean your prediction will be right? You mean okay.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll be in the
Listen,
mud.
I don't care where they finish as long as we win the league. I don't give a damn, mate. If we win the league, you are absolutely in the mud because Declan Rice will be lifting a trophy, and that will hurt you so much, man.
Listen,
it really will to see him wearing an Arsenal shirt.
He already lifted a trophy with West Ham. He lifted a
vase. He lifted a vase, not a trophy.
Listen, you've got our sloppy seconds. You got our sloppy seconds. You're stirring our porridge, all of that stuff.
Listen, I hope we continue. If Paqueta and Kudus want to come along to Arsenal as well, they're more than welcome.
Yeah, all right. Dream. You've had
we can get Declan Rice. We can get Kudus, bruv. Let's just say that. You know what I'm saying?
Shut, man. Listen, if you get Kudus, yeah, I quit football. I'm not watching it.
Jeez.
That's a lovely way.
Clip that. Clip it. Clip it.
I'm gonna jump on this F1 bandwagon that everyone's on these days, or some shit.
Mate,
like
you should try it out, man. You should test it out. F1's class. Listen, that's a good way to wrap it up, man. Make sure you go over to United First. People follow Dan and all of his content. Make sure you go over to LB, It's LB, and more LB. I keep seeing LB everywhere. Big up, man. Absolutely smashing it. Which is great
I love
to
your
see.
fans. I love your fans.
LB. You love what? Why? What are you saying?
Fans. You're hilarious. Aaron knows Declan Rice will lift the Prem or the CL in the next 3 years of Arsenal. Facts. Clip that.
Pots, can I just give a quick shout out?
Of course,
one of my good mates, I've known him 20 plus years. Sadly passed away a couple of weeks ago.
Sorry, man.
But he had a battle with cancer. Massive Arsenal fan, and as well as that, he watched the show because when he was going through a difficult period, I would send him some of the clips, some of the links to the show, and he really enjoyed the content. So we're going to be giving him a massive send off on Thursday. But just wanted to share that because obviously he's a big supporter of the channel. So big up to Mark. God bless.
Love that, man. No, I love that. Listen, if you need us to do anything, then make sure you do. We'll get people over to you, and we'll join in on the on what you're doing over there, man. So sorry to hear that, bro. And very sad news. So big up for that, Pete. Make sure you go follow Pete. Make sure you go follow Loaded Mag and UFC. Doing great stuff over there, man. Always active as well. So make sure you go follow them and support, and go follow Lawless as well over at West Ham Fan TV. We will be back. We're back tomorrow night with a show, and we'll be back obviously with this show next week. And we're going to add a couple more throughout the week. So keep tuned, people. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you are liking the content. We're very, very, very close to 13K. So let's make sure we can get there very quickly, please, people. That would be amazing. Until then, we'll see you next time. And up the Arsenal. Layers.